Castro, who's also a guy who's top 20 in the nation in terms of shooting percentage. So a guy who's been so efficient on the offensive end, they're going to look for other guys to kind of make up that lack of scoring.
And it's some continuity for George Washington. As we mentioned, Rafael Castro returning from last season. Christian Jones returning. Garrett Johnson returning for GW. Similar to what Mike Magpio wants to do for the Rams, keeping guys and letting them stay for multiple years. Something, Brendan, that's very foreign in the modern college basketball.
Yeah, very foreign in college basketball, and not just in college basketball, but you look at, from our lens, Chris, you look at this Fordham team and how there hasn't really been that sense of continuity over the past few years. It's been a lot of new squads year in and year out.
And Brendan, just coming into this one from a key perspective, we've talked about the three-point shooting of GW. What's the other keys for the Fordham Rams getting a victory today?
Well, the transition game is going to be huge. This GW team likes to push the pace. They like to get out in transition and try and get some fast break points. We know that Fordham has been working on that, organizing themselves in the transition defensive type of game and figuring out how to kind of slow them down. Fordham likes to play very slow type of basketball, which works a lot in their favor. Very good at limiting teams in terms of scoring per game. Quite the opposite of what George Washington likes to do offensively, so look there.
The beautiful Smith Center here in the nation's capital on the campus of George Washington. A beautiful court here in the Smith Center, a light brown wood used and then dark brown shading in the shapes of the Capitol, the Monument Building. I'm sure I'll be referring to those as court geography as this game goes along. Fordham winning the opening tip. It was Jack Whitbourne taking it, and the Rams will start it off. Christian Henry leading the Fordham offense to start this one. Fordham in their away maroon with white letters and numbers. George Washington in their home white with blue trim. Jack Whitbourne gets it on the left elbow, dribble handoff, fake dribble handoff, finds Henry, left corner three, no good for Christian Henry. Second chance grab by Whitbourne. Offensive rebound grabbed, and Fordham's once again at it offensively. Reeves, pass out, Schulte back out, Jacobs, straight on three, no good, off right side of rim. Whitbourne again on the second chance, a third chance for the Rams offense. Second rebound for Whitbourne already. Day in the lane, pass downstairs. Rikus Schulte on the right block, backing down his defender. Spins left-handed hook. It's good. Took two bounces on the back of the rim and went in. What a start for the Fordham Rams. It took off almost a full minute of clock, Brendan.
And Fordham, one of the best teams in the A-10 at offensive rebounding. You could see exactly why on that possession right there.
It's Jones, the main ball handler for George Washington, getting it on the right wing to Johnson. Now inside. Hunger backing down Whitbourne, takes a fadeaway, no good, and Akira Jacobs is there on the rebound. A foul on the floor after that rebound. It'll go on GW. Fordham will hold on to it.
And Chris, another thing we know they've been stressing is the importance of boxing out down low, getting those rebounds on the defensive end. Akira Jacobs does a great job there, ends up getting fouled in the process.
18:47 on the first half clock, 2-0 Fordham lead. A full court press from GW, starting this one off. R.N. Gurin in the full court along with Jones. Christian Henry on that GW court at midcourt. Gives it to Day Reeves, left wing, gets to the free throw line, takes a jumper, no good from the mid-range. Rebound on the baseline from GW. R.N. Gurin brings it up after the rebound, drives inside, left of the lane, back out. Johnson drives himself into the middle of the lane, takes contact, makes the bucket plus the foul. Garrett Johnson, notable returner for this George Washington team. He has them on the board, 2-2, 18-18 in the first half.
And such a tough finish there, Chris, going through Whitbourne and Schulte, drawing the contact and putting it up with the right hand.
Garrett Johnson missing some time due to injury in the early stages of this season. 41% from three in A-10 play. That's where a lot of his value has come from with this squad. Misses on the free throw, can't complete the three-point play. Fordham moving quickly. Henry slows it down on the right wing, gets picked up on a double team, trying to pass out, does. Gets it to Whitbourne. Whitbourne kicks out to Jacobs. Jacobs drives, passes it back out, gets it to Christian Henry. He'll reset the offense deep on the left wing. Guarded tightly. R.N. Gurin gets it to Schulte. Schulte tries to backdoor to Day Reeves. Day Reeves saves it to Christian Henry. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Not sure if they know, and a shot clock violation. Christian Henry, too late in the shot clock, passes it to Whitbourne, and he just didn't realize.
Yeah, very chaotic possession there for Fordham. Comes because of those George Washington traps off of those screens.
After the shot clock violation, Fordham tied 2-2. George Washington throwing it away as well. It was Luke Hunger at the free throw line trying to kick it out to Garrett Johnson, and he threw it out of bounds.
Yeah, just an errant pass there. Tries to do almost a no-look pass there out towards the wing, just skies that one.
It'll be Arn Gurin and Jones once again, shadowing Henry and Reeves in a full court press. Reeves breaks the press, gets into the midcourt. Now into the front court. Reeves, top of the arc, going right around a Whitbourne screen. Right corner. Jacobs three, no good off the rim. Rebound by Rikas. Schulte, no good on the putback. Ball goes out of bounds. George Washington tried to save it, they couldn't, and Fordham's there on the out of bounds. It'll be Fordham ball on the baseline.
And Chris, yet again, Whitbourne and Schulte down low, giving Fordham extra chances on these offensive possessions.
Less than 3 minutes into this one, Whitbourne with 3 offensive rebounds already. Henry on the baseline, gets it into Schulte. Schulte left corner, 18 on the shot clock. Gets it to Henry, left wing, right to left crossover, left to right crossover, gets inside and finishes with a floater. Christian Henry, magical moves, getting to the rim.
Beautiful move, and that's all because of his very fast first step getting around the defender.
Kick out right corner. Arn Gurin drives baseline, tries to get it in the middle to Hunger, and Hunger can't quite hold on to it. It'll be a held ball violation. He'll stay on this side with GW. Good work from Rikas Schulte inside to hold on to that one.
Yeah, Fordham great down low there with their rotations, getting inside to whoever is down low by the basket, leaving open any outside shooters.
After the held ball, GW inbounding Arn Gurin on the left side of the baseline, gets it into Johnson. Now inside right back to Johnson. Johnson gets picked up on a double team. It doesn't matter. Johnson finishing at the rim and getting GW level once again. 4-4, 16-40 in the first half.
Because that's something that Castro is so good at, and it looks like GW has kind of found some sort of replacement for their scoring down low.
Left corner, Jacobs drives baseline, puts up a shot at the rim, and it twirls in. Swirling around the rim and finally going in. Akira Jacobs, very impressive on the heavily contested layup. It's Jones, top of the key, driving inside, floater right inside of the free throw line, no good. Rebound, Whitbourne. Call it a whip-bound, Brendan. Jacobs swinging it, Reeves, left corner three, no good, off right side of rim. Schulte there on the offensive rebound, another chance for Fordham. Extra pass to Reeves, left corner three, no good again. Fight for it on the glass, Jacobs there again. Fordham destroying GW on the glass. That's now their 5th offensive rebound. We're just 4 minutes into this game. Henry, pass inside to Whitbourne. He has trouble holding onto it, and it's out of bounds. Trickling out of bounds on the baseline, and a turnover for Fordham. Regardless of the turnover, Brendan, Fordham continuing to stack opportunities on the offensive end.
Yeah, Chris, Fordham leads the league in offensive rebounds this season, 13.3 offensive boards per game. You can see why early in this one, Fordham crashing the glass on the offensive side.
A impassionate start for the Fordham Rams early, 15:47 left to go in this first half. A 6-4 Fordham Rams lead over GW. We'll be right back from the nation's capital. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
I'm Kurt Sippel, telling you to tune into One on One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. Catch us live every Saturday on our WFUV Sports YouTube Live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and later on 90.7 WFUV from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. We break down the week's latest headlines with our collection of tri-state area beat reporters, along with interviews with your favorite athletes and media personalities. WFUV is your home to talk all things New York sports. Chris Carrino here, joined by Brendan Shorey on the road here at the nation's capital, the Smith Center on the campus of George Washington University. Right behind us, the student section, a lone red seat in the midst of a bunch of blue seats, a sea of blue seats. That red seat for Red Auerbach, the famous world-renowned coach of the Boston Celtics, won almost countless titles in the NBA, spent his retirement years here at George Washington catching games, building a relationship with the program, and they remember him very fondly around here with the Revolutionaries.
Yeah, and hence why the seat is red, Chris. The one seat marked his seat for all those games that he would attend here. Just a famous, a historical figure that was a big George Washington fan.
That red seat about 5 rows up, center court, about the best seat in the house, right outside the away locker room. Also a massive mural of him smoking his cigar. That was his signature pose, of course. And the Fordham Rams now come in after the timeout with an impressive start, but a start that they can compound on as well. 6-4, 15:47 to go in the first half. A 2-point lead for the Rams. They have the ball on the baseline. Christian Henry inbounding on the left side of the baseline. Gets it to Akira Jacobs. Back to Henry. Henry left corner. 5 on the shot clock. Has to work quickly. Left to right crossover. Gets in the lane. Floater. No good. Off rim. Rebound from GW. Garrett Johnson finally securing a defensive rebound for the Revolutionaries. Christian Jones out of the left wing. Going left around a screen. Back out top of the key. Garrett Johnson. Pump faking. Taking a 3. No good off back iron. Offensive rebound tracked down, and it was stolen by Reeves. Reeves in transition, pass to Akor, who finishes it at the rim. Proactive play there from the captain, Day Reeves.
And not something we see often, Fordham trying to push the pace, but right there, the 2-on-1, they take advantage.
Autry has it on the right wing, back to his backcourt partner, Jones. Jones trying to get past Christian Henry, splitting defenders. Lob pass to a backdoor Marshall, who slams it at the rim. Tyrone Marshall Jr., the Western Kentucky transfer, gets the fireworks going for the Revolutionaries.
Yeah, Fordham came out in a zone there, 2 guys up top, 3 in the back, and just lost track of Marshall on his back cut.
8-6 Fordham lead, 14:43 to go in this first half. Steal by Johnson. Midcourt steal, 3 in transition, no good off back iron. Rebound quickly brought down by Henry. He'll reset the offense on the other side, deep on the right wing. Getting picked up on a double team, deep on the right wing. Kicks it out to Akor. Akor, dribble handoff. Kicks it up top to Christian Henry. Henry, 15 on the shot clock. Digs right. Trying to get past defender. Behind the back dribble. Fade away, mid-ranger goes. The silky offensive play from Christian Henry continues.
And that behind the back dribble just created enough space to get away from Johnson.
Physical dribble inside by Jones leads to a layup. No good on the layup, and Fordham's going the other way. 10-6 Fordham lead, 14 minutes to go in this first half. Henry on the right wing, going right around a screen. Now driving right of the lane. Picked up by a defender. Kicked to Roracor. Left corner 3. No good. Rebound brought down by Hunger. George Washington starting to get better on the glass. Marshall going coast to coast, finishing at the rim, plus the foul. Roracor on the foul, and George Washington going to the line with a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, and a really tough finish there again by Johnson. Goes up, acts as if he's going up with the left. It comes around with the right, a little bit of jelly on that finish as well.
Abbas Bodija along with Marcus Green subbing into this one. They'll sub in favor of Jack Whitmore and Christian Henry. Marcus Green, the Hawaii transfer, and Abbas Bodija, the UC Riverside transfer. Abbas Bodija just starting to get healthy, around his 3rd game back since injury. Him and Roracor definitely major parts of this Fordham team they would like to have healthy. No good on the free throw, and a second 3-point play not completed by the Revolutionaries. 10-8 Fordham lead, 13.5 to go in this first half. Reeves splitting through defenders. Athletic layup at the rim goes. Taking the contact at the body, extending the left arm, and finishing with the left arm at the rim. A day-day split, Brendan.
And we already know how good he is on the offensive end, but just a fantastic play by him.
Marshall gets it inside. The active hands of Roracor stops it, kicks it out of bounds. It'll be out of bounds on the baseline. It'll stay with GW. Roracor swearing he didn't touch it, asking for a review on his bench. Coach Ryan Highland eagerly checking the camera, or should I say the iPad behind the bench, trying to see if they should review. Don't think they will. It won't be a review for Fordham. Substitution for Fordham. Akira Jacobs coming off in favor of Rika Schulte. GW will try to work offensively, try to work into this Fordham lead. 12-8 Fordham lead. Left wing 3. It's good. Trey Dinkins, the Duquesne transfer, gets the 3 to go for GW.
And Dinkins, a 41% three-point shooter on the year, gets an open look there coming off the screen, and he's as good as you'll get.
GW trails by 1, 12-11, 12:46 to go in this first half. Day Reeves, 15-footer goes. Fade away off glass. Goes. It almost left me speechless, Brendan. What a play.
contested shot. It does not matter for Day Reeves there on that one.
Dinkins gets it inside to Hunger. Hunger faces up Schulte. Dribble handoff, Jones. Jones brings it back out to the perimeter. Left to right crossover. Spin move left. Gets to the left block. Pump fake and then puts it up for a score. Active offensive work from Christian Jones works effectively.
An impressive finish. Jones with Schulte on him. A huge size mismatch, but nevertheless gets it to go.
Still a 1-point lead for the Rams. 14-13, 12:06 to go in this first half. Green, pass to Roricourt, right corner three. No good. Off the right side of the rim. It'll be out of bounds on the baseline. It'll go to GW. Quick catch and fire there for Roricourt, not getting it to go.
No, and we know he's so talented from three. That's a look that this Fordham team likes for him to have. This one, he just a little bit short off that front rim, and unluckily for him, that first bounce on the rebound onto the baseline, I'm not able to save it.
12:58 to go in this first half. A long first media timeout, but we're there. 11:58 to go in the first half. 14-13 Fordham lead over GW. We'll be right back with Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports. We're going to send it to the Rose Hill Studios for a one-on-one scoreboard update with Lydia Perner. Take it away, Lydia.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
A cold front this week is ripping through the United States. That does not faze the Midwest, who started off our weekend of top 25 matchups with the Michigan rivals facing off. The number 3 Wolverines defeated the number 7 Michigan State Spartans last night, 83-71. Waking up this morning, we first headed down to sunny Florida. Or actually, no. The National Weather Service had issued an extreme cold warning for Central Florida. Reading a brisk, checks notes, 58 degrees at tip-off for the matchup between the number 11 Texas Tech and the hosting UCF Raiders. That one just wrapped up with UCF defeating Texas Tech 88-79. The number 4 Duke Blue Devils traveled up to Blacksburg to visit the Virginia Tech Hokies and took that game 72-58. The one place that has not experienced a cold from this week is Arizona, so for good reason, nobody wants to leave that state. 70 degrees and sunny right now with a high of 79, so good news for the number 1 ranked Arizona Wildcats and their interstate rival, the Arizona State Sun Devils, is they don't have to leave the sun, as those two teams tipped off at 2 o'clock. We'll monitor that game and keep you posted. We're going to send it back to Chris and Brendan for more Fordham men's hoops action, but stay tuned for sports news around the tri-state area next. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Lydia Perner.
Back here at GW, 14-13 Fordham lead, 11:58 to go in this first half. The Fordham Rams are led by Day Reeves, well, usually, but especially right now. He has 4 points. It's been by committee for the Rams so far of the guys they have on the floor, 3 of them in the scoring column. And just in general, Brendan, it's not necessarily the best first half they've played so far, but they stay in command of the lead and haven't really wavered so far.
Yeah, and you look at that offensive side, they're playing to their strengths. They're slowing the game down, at least on the offensive end. They're getting these offensive rebounds. They're giving themselves second chances, third chances to go and put some more points on the board, and that's huge for this Fordham team.
It'll be GW off the timeout on the inbound. They'll inbound in the full court, and it'll be a Fordham full court press to match it. Christian Henry and Marcus Green in the backcourt to defend this one. Louis Lesmond also in the game for the Rams. He'll also get in the full court fun. It'll be Dinkins to break the full court press. He does. Gets it to Aranguren. Aranguren gets it to Dinkins. Back to Aranguren. Aranguren trying to look inside. So is Dinkins. Both passing it back and forth. Trying to get it inside. Aranguren back to Dinkins. Dinkins top of the key to Marshall. Marshall at the free throw line. Takes a fadeaway. Gets it to go off glass. From the Day Reeves offensive playbook, Marshall gets that one to go.
And Marshall giving a little shrug after that one. Not sure if he meant to put that one off the glass, but still good.
GW's now made 4 of their last 5 field goals. Marshall's now made his last 3. 11-12 to go in this first half. Christian Henry driving the left side of the lane. Picked up on a trap by a double team. Cross-court pass, keeps it alive, but it'll be out of bounds. The official on the baseline calling the out of bounds and an unforced turnover for the Rams.
Yeah, once Christian Henry lost his dribble down there in the corner, GW smelled blood and sent the trap. There's nowhere Henry could go with that ball.
Fordham Rams 0 for 7 from deep. Still scoreless from the three-point line, 0 for 7. Not a major aspect of Fordham's game, but you can't go scoreless. Marshall gets it on the right elbow. Fake right, goes left, and he traveled. A little too much on the fake, and the official saw it. A travel called, and GW returning the favor with an unforced turnover.
Yeah, one of those cases where your feet travel a little faster than your head for Marshall on that one, just taking a couple extra steps, trying to get down low in the post.
Fordham scoreless in the last 2 minutes. They want to get on the board offensively. 15-14 GW lead, 10:53 to go in this first half. Christian Henry will bring it up for the Rams. He's got 4 points and 1 rebound so far tonight. Bodija has it on the right wing. He's in the game for the Rams. Schulte has it top of the key, looking for off-ball movement. Finds Lesmond on the dribble handoff. And a travel. Lesmond trying to find Christian Henry on the left wing on a handoff, and he moved his feet too much. Another turnover for both these offenses.
Yeah, Lesmond and Henry just not on the same page there. Lesmond looking for the dribble handoff. Henry just trying to get that ball back behind, and Lesmond ends up taking that extra step.
The Harvard transfer, as is his former school, he's a smart player. Doesn't make mistakes like that usually. And on the ball, Abbas Bodija stealing the pass away. Bodija defending in the right corner, and he took the ball away. Lesmond, pass to Schulte, left corner, cross-court pass. Green, right to left crossover to Lesmond, straight on. Pump fake, back to Green. His straight on three, no good. Off left side of the rim, brought down by Dinkins. George Washington prioritizing those rebounds. Dinkins, left wing, right to left crossover. Pass Green. Pump fake at the rim, puts up a shot, no good at the rim, but he'll get fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
Dinkins with a good job down low with the pump fake, gets Green up in the air, and then from that point on, it creates the contact, go up and draw the foul.
Dinkins going to the line for 2, 84% on the year from the line. Only taken 31 so far this season, but has made 26 of them.
Very impressive number.
Dinkins, Duquesne transfer, averaging just over 10 points per game this season and just over 4 rebounds a game this season. Good at the line on the first. Also, very efficient from the field this season as well, specifically from the three-point line. 56 for 136. That's right around 40, right just over 40%. Dinkins efficiently helping his team offensively this season. Dinkins, his second. Good at the line. 1 for 2 for Dinkins at the line. He brings his Revolutionaries out to a 3-point lead. 17-14, just under 10 minutes to go in the first half. It'll be Boo Boo Benjamin checking in for GW for the first time this afternoon. Schulte, top of the arc, ball above his head, looking for a pass, has trouble with it, ball is loose, multiple bodies on the ground. We'll see who has it. Christian Henry on the ground along with Dinkins and Hunger of GW. It'll be a held ball violation, stays on this side with the Rams. Both teams now benefiting from held balls.
Yeah, that one just an errant pass there. Looking for Christian Henry, but gets tipped by a GW defender. Great job by Christian Henry diving back onto that ball.
Henry, especially as this season has gone along, showing more and more leadership, more and more hustle. He has been a major piece for this Ram unit. He gets it on the inbound, has it deep on the left wing, donning Kobe Yates, trying to get past his defender in Dinkins. Gets picked up on a double team once again, kicks it out to Bodija. Bodija pump faking and driving inside. Contested layup goes plus the foul. Abbas Bodija looked like he was going to soar and dunk on the defender. Instead, with a real beautiful example of touch, gets to the rim. Bucket plus the foul, Brendan. What a play from the transfer.
Yeah, not even to mention the pump fake to get his defender in the air. Gives him the driving lane and goes up, and Chris, you mentioned it. It looked like he was about to jam that thing.
It's going to be Bodija at the line trying to complete the three-point play. And it's good. Abbas Bodija getting the three-point play and getting his Rams back level. 17-17, 9:26 to go in this first half. A impassionate effort from the Rams here in a first half on the road on this Saturday afternoon. Christian Jones deep on the left wing, looking for off-ball movement from his teammates to Boo Boo Benjamin. Benjamin gets it to Hunger. Hunger at the free throw line, loses the ball. Henry, the helping defender, took it away. Schulte in transition, kicks it to Lesman, his three, no good. Schulte there on the offensive rebound. The Rams playing with a ridiculous amount of hustle right now. Henry, top of the arc, going right around the screen, now at the right wing. Bullet pass inside to Schulte, no good at the rim. Schulte right under the rim, and he missed it with the right hand. GW now going the other way offensively. Hunger has it. Gives it to Boo Boo. Benjamin goes right, drives right side of the lane, puts up the shot, gets it to go, also plus the foul. Bodija a few possessions ago got the and one, and Boo Boo Benjamin now gets in the fun.
Boo Boo Benjamin with a Kyrie Irving-esque finish there, putting some touch on that ball, spinning it off the backboard and in.
Benjamin going to try to complete the three-point play. The third and one for GW this afternoon. The first two both eventually leading to missed free throws at the line. This should be the first completed three-point play for the Revolutionaries. Day Reeves subbing back into this one. That was a long segment without Day Reeves. The Rams are not used to that, but Brendan, if they can do that and not create too much harm, they would like to.
And it gives Day fresher legs when he comes back in.
That is the main goal of it. Day Reeves subs back into this one. No good on the free throw. 3 straight and 1 free throws missed for GW. Reeves has it offensively for the Rams. They're coming the other way. Jack Whitbourne kneeling at the scorer's table. He'll check in at the next dead ball. Lesman at the left wing. Top of the key to Schulte. Schulte faking the dribble handoff. Pass to a backdoor Reeves, who finishes at the rim. Day Reeves and Enrique Schulte on the same page there, and the Fordham Rams are back tied at 19. 8 minutes to go in this first half.
Great cut by Day and great finish through contact as well.
Left elbow jumper, good. That one from Luke Hunger goes as awkwardly as you like. GW back in the lead, 21-19, just under 8 minutes to go. Henry, top of the arc, pass to Lesman. Lesman deep on the left wing. Now to Christian Henry, going left around a Schulte screen. Finds himself at the left elbow, spins and puts up a floater, no good on the shot, and GW is on the defensive glass. It's Dinkins playing it ahead to Jones. Jones on the left wing, gets inside, tries to kick it out, he does. Benjamin has it, guarded by Bodija. Pass to Jones. Jones will reset the offense. Jones to Benjamin, right wing. Benjamin drives right, kicks it back out. Autry guarded tenaciously by Day Reeves, puts up a shot. No good on the heavily contested three. Benjamin there on the second chance, no good on the second chance either. GW continuing to miss offensively. Fordham looking to take advantage. Henry at the top of the key on the Washington Monument, etched into the court. Gives it to Day Reeves now. Day Reeves at midcourt. 13 on the shot clock. 6:45 on the game clock. Reeves, pass to Lesman. Right corner three, wide open. No good, off right side of rim. Rebound brought down by Jones. 6:38 to go in this first half. Jones driving to the right side of the lane. No good on the layup. Good defense there from Christian Henry. Henry now grabs it. He'll take it the other way for the Rams. Henry going right around a Schulte screen. He'll take a three. No good. The threes continue not to fall for the Rams. It's a foul on the boards on Abbas Bodija. That'll be GW possession coming out of the timeout. Timeout on the floor, Fordham.
And Fordham staying aggressive on the offensive end, still trying to crash the glass, create those second chance points. This time just Bodija gets a little too eager, gets called for an over the back.
Full timeout on the floor from the Rams. We'll take a little break from the nation's capital. A 21-19 GW lead over the Fordham Rams. 16-19, 6-1-9, as Rey Mysterio would say, Brendan, left to go in this first half. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey, what's up? It's Owen Kelty, one of WFUV Sports' New York Knicks beat reporters. Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks look to dominate the East and bring a championship back to New York. Keep up all season long on my X account at Owen Kelty for all the highs and lows of New York Knicks basketball. WFUV Sports is your home for all things Knicks.
6:19 to go in the first half here at the Smith Center. 21-19 GW lead over the Fordham Rams. Chris Carrino joined to you by Brendan Shorey. Brendan, it's been a highly competitive affair. Neither of these teams really establishing any sort of domination over the other.
Yeah, and this one early seems kind of like a game of runs, Chris. I mean, you'll have Fordham go on and they'll get themselves 4 in a row, 5 in a row, and then you come back to the other side and George Washington will do the same. And there's a lot of lead changes, a lot of ties already early in this game.
A lot of lead changes, a lot of ties, and neither team really shooting or scoring really effectively on the offensive end. We've seen it recently on the last couple possessions with the Fordham Rams. If you can't shoot the three effectively, even at all, you're going to really handicap yourself going down the stretch.
Yeah, and we're not saying you have to shoot it at a very good clip. You don't have to be hitting 50% of your threes, but you look at how they've been shooting so far this game, just if they could get a couple of those to fall, get 2 of those, get 3 of those, you can start building that momentum and also that lead.
Of the players on the floor, Day Reeves leads all. 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. For GW, it's Dinkins. Dinkins has 5. And Benjamin and Hunger have done a good job in the place of Rafael Castro, the All-A-10 player. They both have 5 rebounds combined. And for a team Fordham that was dominating on the boards early, GW's done a good job of adjusting.
Yeah, the first couple of possessions for Fordham were great on the offensive rebounding side, but GW has kind of locked in and keyed to that.
GW working offensively out of the timeout, top of the key to Jones. Jones working his way to the left wing, now inside. Marshall, bounce pass beautifully into Hunger, who finishes it at the rim. What a pass from Marshall.
A lot of passing there from GW, picking apart this Fordham zone on that possession.
It's now a 4-point lead for GW. 23-19, 5:48 to go in the first half. Henry to Whitbourne, deep on the right wing, guarded by Hunger. Backdoor to Reeves. Reeves spinning in the middle of the lane, kicking it out. Akira Jacobs left corner, pump faking, then stopping himself. Tried to get it out to Reeves, who he does. Back to Jacobs almost immediately. Jacobs driving baseline, out to Henry. Henry no good at the end of the shot clock, and a very hectic offensive possession ends up in nothing for the Rams. Fordham Rams 1 for their last 7 from the field. Hunger, mid-range, no good, 1 step inside of the free throw line. Day Reeves has it after the defensive stop for Fordham. Passes it to a cutting Whitbourne. Whitbourne on the roll, puts up a shot and gets it to go. Might have been an extra step. It doesn't matter because it wasn't called, and the Rams are back on the board. 23-21, they trail GW. 4:53 to go in this first half.
We'll just call that one a Euro step, Chris.
I guess we will. Jones left wing 3, no good, and a push on the glass from GW. Fordham will control it after the miss. Kingston Price subbing into this one for Christian Henry, giving the guard a little bit of a break.
Yeah, Luke Hunger getting called for that one down low with the push in the back to Whitbourne, not letting Whitbourne grab that rebound.
Kingston Price subbing in for the Fordham Rams. He's been a story all season long. Almost the status of a walk-on, basically the status of a walk-on at the beginning of the season. And as this season has gone along, whether it's been lack of availability from the Rams and improvement from Kingston, he has now made himself into a very integral role in this rotation, arguably the backup point guard of this rotation. Day Reeves has it on the right wing. Extra pass to Kingston. Kingston gets it back up top. Day Reeves. Reeves, left corner. Akira Jacobs, wide open 3, gets it to go! Akira Jacobs on the 3. What a big shot for the Rams. They're back in the lead. 24-23, 4:13 to go in this first half.
And Day Reeves showing off his vision with the skip pass from the top of the key back down to the corner on that one.
Now Jones, left corner, guarded by Kingston Price. Pass in the left corner. Benjamin's 3, no good from Boo Boo. Rebound by Day Reeves. Reeves wasting no time, playing it up ahead to Akor. Akor will slow it down. Didn't have many options. Fordham will elect for the half-court offense instead. 3:45 and counting on this first half clock. 24-23 Fordham lead. Reeves, right to left crossover. Step back 3, no good. Rebound Whitbourne. Second chance for the Rams. Price's 3, no good as well. And a foul on the floor on that shot. That's going to be on the glass. Fordham will hold on to it. And the hustle on the rebounding for the Rams has kept them in the position they're in.
And Chris, that's exactly what we saw at the beginning of the game, is the hustle on the offensive end, and it's persistent already throughout this first half. Just Fordham continues to crash the offensive glass.
A very quick first half here in the nation's capital. 3:31 on the first half clock. Another media timeout. We're going to send it to the Rose Hill Studios for another one-on-one scoreboard update. 24-23 Fordham lead. 3:31 in the first half. Take it away, Lydia.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Exciting stuff happening here in the Bronx as WFUV's very own Hope Nolan is celebrating her senior day with the Fordham Swim and Dive team. Hope is not only an integral member of WFUV, but she's also served as one of the captains of the swim team. Congrats, Hope! Continuing our tri-state check-in, the Rangers take the ice today at 3:30 against the Pittsburgh Penguins for their last road game until after the Olympic break. Pittsburgh will be looking to win their 6th straight, while the Rangers will try and get back in the win column after dropping the last 2 to the Islanders. They'll once again be tasked with trying to find offense without Artemi Panarin, who played his last game for the Rangers Monday night. The pending unrestricted free agent is being scratched for asset management purposes. The Rangers' roommates, the New York Knicks, defeated the Portland Trail Blazers in commanding fashion last night, 127-97, probably much to our play-by-play broadcaster Chris Carrino's dismay. Tomorrow, they host the Los Angeles Lakers at MSG. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. Oh, and here you go, Chris. A win last night for the Brooklyn Nets, 109-99 against the Utah Jazz. That win improved the Nets to 13-34, and tomorrow they'll have a chance to go for their 14th win in Detroit. Start time at 6 o'clock. The New York Islanders host the Nashville Predators today, and the New Jersey Devils travel to Ottawa to take on the Senators. The puck drop will be for both of those at 7 o'clock. We'll see you back here at halftime for the one-on-one halftime report with myself and Thomas Tisdale. But as for the one-on-one scoreboard, I've been Lydia Perner. Chris and Brendan, back to you two.
Back here at GW, Chris Carrino, Brendan Shorey, 24-23 Fordham lead, 3:31 to go on the first half. Thank you, as always, to Lydia Perner. Appreciate her putting me in the context of the Nets updates as well. We know she's not necessarily doing the best with her Rangers right now. Our resident Ranger beat reporter, they've struggled mightily recently. We hope it gets better for her. And also, as bad as things are, Lydia Perner has to remember my team plays in the Super Bowl next week as well. So that has to just all be said. Nonetheless, Day Reeves inbounding it on the right side of the baseline for the Fordham offense. Into Rika Schulte, who finishes at the rim. Schulte left unguarded, rolling in the middle of the paint, and he finished. What a beautiful play design from the Fordham Rams coaching staff.
Schulte somehow finds himself open right down by the basket, and you mentioned it, Chris, a great left-handed finish.
Dinkins, pass to Johnson, who passes it inside to Marshall, who finishes. Johnson with a beautiful quick pass into Marshall, and Marshall wasted no time. GW back within one, 26-25, 3 minutes to go in the first half. Oracore has it, left corner to Rika Schulte. Schulte faking the dribble handoff, gives it to Price. Price faking the dribble baseline, steps back, passes it back out. Back out to Schulte. Schulte, ball above his head, looking for a pass, finds Price. Price, fadeaway mid-ranger, no good from the baseline. A fight for the rebound, ends up with Day Reeves. Fordham continuing to work on the offensive glass. Can't even say what number offensive rebound that is. Day driving through the middle of the lane and finishing amongst the trees. Day Reeves securing the rebound and securing the bucket. Can you ask for more, Brendan?
Anyone a bit taller and a bit slower than Day is an unfair matchup. He's going to blow right by you.
Dinkins straight on three, no good for the GW offense, and Fordham controls once again. Fordham up 3, 28-25. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Fordham looking to compound their 3-point lead. Reeves, top of the arc. Looking for somewhere to attack. Reeves drives left, spins right, goes up at the rim, and puts up the shot to go. Day Reeves continuing to get it to go, and not only getting it to go, but getting it to go in a smooth and efficient way. What play from the marquee player for the Rams, Day Reeves.
So quick, so agile. He does not care if you were a bit taller than him down low. He will find a way to beat you, get around you, use that speed, and put it off the glass.
Day Reeves now with 10 points in this one, 1:50 to go on this first half. The Fordham Rams still holding on to a lead, now a 5-point lead. And as this Fordham team continues to separate themselves from GW, it seems the unit gets more confident, Brendan, as well.
Yeah, there definitely is a surge of confidence in this unit, and I think, Chris, one reason for that is the rebound battle. We've been mentioning it all game so far, but 24-11, Fordham is leading that rebound battle, just getting it done on both ends.
1:50 to go in this first half, 30-25 Fordham lead. It's been an impressive first half on the road in the conference for Coach Magpaio's group. They're on an 11-2 run in the last 4 minutes. They've made 3 of their last 4 field goals. And GW on the other side, trending in the other direction, 1 for their last 5 field goals, 1 for their last 6 shots from deep. Fordham trying to continue to put pedal to the metal here in the nation's capital. 30-25, Fordham lead, 1:44 to go in the first half. GW operating offensively. Johnson at the free throw line, back out to Dinkins. Dinkins lost the ball. He's on the ground hurt. Day-Day Reeves on the other end finishes it in transition with a very, very calm layup. What play from the Fordham Rams, transitioning their stellar defense into stellar offense.
Defense into offense, it's a complementary game, Chris. You get stops like that, you get steals like that, you're able to go down and then turn them into points.
Fordham Rams silencing this gym. You can hear a pin drop here on the campus of George Washington. A pretty good crowd here on a Saturday afternoon in cold elements here in DC. 32-25 Fordham lead, 1.5 minutes to go in this first half. Marshall played to Aranguren. Aranguren back out Johnson. Johnson getting double teamed by Reeves. Back out to Marshall. Marshall trying to drive on Christian Henry, and Christian Henry is called on the reach-in.
And Christian Henry just gets a little too much arm on that one. He's going to get called for it. Right before that possession, though, Coach Magpaio, I could hear him, Day-Day, you need one? Day-Day just waved him off. He wants to stay in this game. He wants to keep pushing, keep that foot on the gas.
With the good play of Marcus Green earlier in this half, Day-Day did get a decent amount of time to sit down, but you always look to get your best guy some more rest. Right wing 3 is good. You heard the ooze behind me. It was Autry from the right wing, and he finally gets a 3 to go for GW. They were 1 for 7 before that one.
Autry's so good from 3, 4 of 8 last game, and he finally gets one to go for this GW team.
4-point lead for the Rams, 52 seconds on the first half clock. 13 on the shot clock. Henry under the basket, right-handed layup under the basket goes. Henry niftily moving around and scoring. 40 seconds on the half. Left wing 3 from really deep. That one was from the Capitol building, and he didn't get it to go. After the Garrett Johnson miss, Fordham with a 6-point lead and the ball. 27 seconds left. 23 seconds left. Henry midcourt, right in the middle of the GW logo. 6-point lead for the Rams. They'd like to go into the locker room with more. Henry on the right wing, guarded by Autry. Now drifting over to the right wing. 3 on the shot clock. Straight away 3. No good. It was an air ball. Might have been tipped. And Christian Henry wants a foul call. Not going to get it. And GW will have 4 seconds to work with in this first half. 4.3 on the first half clock. 6-point lead for the Rams.
Yeah, and Christian Henry on that one just trying to find a mismatch wherever he could. Finally gets a matchup he likes, just misses the shot.
I think we might have an official review here. Not sure what they're currently discussing at midcourt. They are. Both teams in 30-second huddles. It'll be a timeout. Timeout both teams will take, or not a timeout. Brendan, what's going on?
It looks like from the ref's motion, he's tapping his wrist as if he's tapping a watch.
Ooh.
They're going to review this for how much time should be left on the clock, I would imagine.
Should it be more from what you saw?
It looked like the clock continued to run for maybe a second after that. Either whatever happened first, whether the ball hit out of bounds first or that shot clock expired.
Rams are not the Rams, the Revolutionaries, GW, going to have the ball down 6. As much time as they can possibly have, they would like to have here. Right now it's 4.3 on the game clock. We're assuming from what Brendan said and from what the officials are doing next to us that they'll get more.
I'd imagine they add somewhere in the realm of 0.6 seconds, get it close to 5 seconds left on the game. Left in the half, sorry.
GW has to be a little bit demoralized with how they've played in this first half. Obviously, not an outright better team than Fordham, but a team that probably has higher expectations than this. And it'll be 5.4 on the game clock for GW to work with here on the final shot of the first half.
And Fordham electing to go with a more defensive lineup here, taking Christian Henry out. Louis Lesmond coming into the game.
Yeah, Lesmond, a defensive weapon for Magpayo's unit. Full court press for the Rams. 5.4 on the game clock. GW has to work fast. And it'll be a timeout for Magpayo. He's going to take a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. Coach Magpayo wanted to get his team together. Doesn't want to give up a field goal or a field goal here at the end of the half specifically. A field goal here would just kill a lot of the momentum that Fordham has built up, Brendan.
Yeah, you're up 6 right now. If you're Fordham, you want to go into the half up 6 as well. You don't want to give up any sort of easy shot. Make it hard, make it difficult on this GW team. And if they make it, you got to give them their props. But you got to make it hard for them to score here.
Fordham, down the stretch of this first half, has gotten very efficient offensively. 4 of their last 5 from the field. They're shooting 1 for 15 from the three-point line. But with how efficient they've been inside the line, Brendan, it really hasn't mattered.
No, it really hasn't. They've found a way to keep themselves in this game.
It'll be Fordham now trying to defend with 5.4 on the game clock. Jones quickly trying to make his way up the floor. Gets it across half court on the left wing. Got a good look. It's good! Christian Jones racing his way to get a good look. He did, and a 3 for GW. They needed going into the locker room, Brendan. What a play.
And that was not an easy shot, Chris. Rorcore had his hand in Jones's face, but Jones just getting that one to go, fading away over on that wing.
GW, a team that had struggled from the three-point line all half long, finally, as the half culminates, finally gets one to go. They're 3 for 9 on the half, that third one being the most important. Christian Jones ending this first half on fireworks. 34-31 Fordham lead after the big 3 going into the half. That'll be the score going into the locker room. We'll see, Brendan, if Fordham can keep this lead and hopefully go back to Fordham with a win tonight.
Yeah, 3-point game. That 3 right there by Jones is definitely going to shift that momentum a little bit in GW's favor, but again, you have to look at the positives. If you're Fordham, you still are up 3 points going into the second half on the road against a very good George Washington team.
We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios halftime here at GW. 34-31, Fordham Rams lead over the George Washington Revolutionaries. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for a one-on-one halftime report. We're going to check back in with Lydia Perner, and I'm going to send it to host Thomas Tisdale. Take it away, Thomas.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome into the Rose Hill Studio for the one-on-one halftime show on this incredibly chilly Saturday afternoon. But the Rams certainly aren't letting the weather, and I'm being told that this weekend it's a bomb cyclone. A little bit concerning, but the Rams aren't letting this weather slow their game down. They're up by 3 at the half, 34-31 against the George Washington Revolutionaries. I'm Thomas Tisdale, joined alongside by Lydia Perner. A rather rough way to end the half with that buzzer beater 3 for GW to end the half, but that really shouldn't take away what was a really positive first half for Fordham. We really weren't expecting Fordham to be super competitive in this game. We thought they were going to be trailing going into halftime, but Fordham just really impressive. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well behind the three-point line, 1 for 15, but they're getting something done, and specifically on the offensive glass. Lydia, what did you see that was sort of a positive for this Fordham team as they're up by 3?
Well, certainly, obviously, the scoreboard, right? Talking before the game, we were reading, who was favored. I think it was GW's favored by like 12.5 or something like that. So just the fact that you're up only by 3, but it's the fact that you're up, and you have to look at basketball's a game of 2 halves, like anything, right? So if you can just isolate what you've done in the first half and kind of forget about that last 10 seconds, the problem with Fordham that going into that half is that's a really backbreaking play to give up that three-pointer, especially when GW's not shooting well from behind the arc. To give that up, if that's what you're thinking about going into the locker room and not the scoreboard, then that's going to be a problem. So for Fordham, I think the first 2 minutes of that second half is really going to be a telltale on what we can see from this team. But really, I think, going into the half with a lead, not really something Fordham's done a ton this season. Definitely not an A10 play. And especially, if you look where Fordham is in the standings, bottom of the A10, GW right in the middle, you just have to tell yourself, we're not only in this game, we're up in this game. Obviously, don't get too confident because when you look at the win probability, Fordham's actually, despite having the lead for a lot of that half, they've never been close to to 50% probability to win this game. And when that 3 went in, they were at 30% to win the game, and it just went down to 23.5. 76% thinks that. Of the stats say that the win probability is going to GW. So it's really just, for me, that those first couple minutes, but just trying to collect points every time you go down. Obviously, at the beginning of the game, they were doing the good. They were getting the offensive rebounds, things like that. But I think if they can do the little things well, you just can't let GW get into the game. That's really the big thing. If they start knocking down shots, I'm not saying they can't match it, but you have to kind of start just playing the dirty game and just collecting points where you can.
Yeah, I think this is a fairly unfamiliar position for this Fordham team. They usually don't start the first half particularly well, but for whatever reason today they came out of the gates super physical, super strong, and were able to sort of stem this GW sort of attack. But Fordham looking to pick up their third conference win of the season after picking up their second this previous Wednesday against LaSalle, and they desperately need any sort of momentum as we head into sort of the latter part and the end stretch of the season here. And you talked about how this game, it's basketball is a game of two halves, and how you have to take the positives from the first half and you have to forget about the negatives. What were some of those negatives that Fordham really needs just to let go of and really not think about and maybe focus on, how can we improve in these areas? It's
really just that giving up that shot going to the halftime, because, again, when you're up and by, not even forget the score. When you're up and you finish a half strong, it's way different than when you're up and you give something, because it's momentum, right? So even you look at the scoreboard, GW has the momentum right now, right? And so for the big thing is every sport is a game of momentum, but it's a weird thing too, because you can't necessarily try and grab onto it or give it up. But the big thing for Fordham is Day Reeves. He has 12 points, but he's the only person in double figures for the Rams. I want to see a more balanced scoring attack there, because again, you can't just. I know that's kind of what Fordham's been relying on all season, is like for him to have a good game and them to try and ride the back of their best player. But like I need more from everyone else, because if we do see GW start to heat up from the floor, then it's gonna be a long afternoon, and it's gonna be the tale of two halves.
Yeah, absolutely. GW, I mean, they really excel on behind the 3-point line. They're second in the A10 and 3-pointers made per game, but Fordham, I think, doing a great job limiting the looks that GW has been able to generate from behind the arc. They're 3 for 9, which is a pretty solid, a rate of conversion, but just maybe not the same volume that they want. And for Fordham, I think it's just going to be about, can you hit these 3-pointers at a respectable rate? Like
7% from
7%
for 15
is just really not going to cut it. And I think that's the thing that's sort of baffling to me.
Yeah.
From this first half is, how can you be so poor from the 3-point line and still be up by 3 going into the half? Because you look at the rest of the box score, and it's pretty even. I mean, Fordham's taken 11 more shots than GW, and I think credit to the offensive rebounding. I think that's really been Fordham's area of expertise and emphasis coming into this game. They knew they would have to attack the glass because for whatever reason, the shots just haven't been falling for Fordham in tonight's game, and it's been a problem in previous games. And so they knew that in order to be competitive in this game, they were going to have to generate second chance points. But looking towards the second half, you mentioned how Day Reeves is the only player in double figures right now. Who is another player outside of Day Reeves that you feel needs to really step up for this Fordham team in order to close out the victory?
All right, I'm not going to give you a player name. I'm going to give you the defense. Can the defense be a player, Thomas? Are we okay with that?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
This is what I'm looking at right now. So GW actually is shooting 50% from the field, 33% from 3, and they're 40% on free throws. But when I look at the 50 to 33, it makes me think they're just not shooting enough. They're not getting enough chances to shoot the ball, because they're actually and then you look at Fordham, right? They're leading 43% from the field and 7% from 3-point line. To me, the best player is the best offense is defense, not having the ball, right? Or having the ball, so you don't have to so the other team can't have it. Because I think the second, I don't think it's a player that can make a difference. I think the second Fordham's defense starts going awry and GW gets more shots up, it's it's not even a quality thing in basketball. Sometimes it is a quantity thing. Like, right, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So Fordham defense cannot give GW opportunities to have the ball, because that's when the percentages are just going to keep going up. And ultimately, I think it's got to be Fordham's defense to lead the way in the second half and just collect points where you can.
I absolutely agree. I think this Fordham defense, because GW is shooting the ball pretty well. They've been pretty efficient. They just haven't necessarily gotten the volume of looks that they potentially want. But I think one player for me that needs to step up is Jack Whitbourne. He's been a monster on the offensive glass, but I'd like to see him, take a little bit more shots. He's only had one shot up to this point, making that one. But I'd just like to see him be a little bit more involved in the offense outside of crashing the glass. And before we wrap up this halftime show, can we get a score prediction for the rest of the half? Do you think Fordham can hang on and enact the changes that you suggested, or do you think GW comes storming back and Fordham is left leaving the nation's capital with a loss?
You know what? I think it's Saturday. It's a little cold, but the sun's out. So why don't we just give Fordham the benefit of the doubt here, right? Like, we're Fordham students. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. History isn't on their side this season, but let's say that Fordham's gonna implement the changes that we discussed and take this one, let's say maybe 65-63. It's going to be a nail biter, but down the stretch, I think they're going to do it.
I really like that. I think this Fordham team, if they just make a couple of three-pointers, I think they stay in this game. I think they've got a little bit of momentum coming from the LaSalle game, and I think they desperately need this one. So I think they hang on. I think they win by 2, 70-68 against this GW team. And that is going to do it for our one-on-one halftime show. We'll send it back to Chris Carrino and Brendan Shorey for what should be an incredible second half of Fordham men's basketball against George Washington. Don't go anywhere.
George Washington University in the capital, Washington, D.C. Chris Carrino joined by my partner, Brendan Shorey. A fun first half for the Fordham Rams. They have a 34-31 lead over GW coming into the second half. The pitfalls of GW, Brendan, in that first half, similar to the pitfalls of Fordham against Davidson. Their last road game, Fordham shot 50% from the field in that one, but they just didn't shoot the ball enough. They lost that one after one half of basketball here. GW shooting 13 for 26 from the field, but Fordham taking 11 more shots than them, and of course leading them 34-31.
Yeah, and it's not even just the shots, Chris. It's also from three. This GW team, they pride themselves on being able to knock down the three ball, and today shooting it at a little below average in terms of them and their season so far. But yeah, I think it's when you look at the shot numbers, Chris, you also, the reason that Fordham is leading in that category is because of all the offensive rebounds that they've been able to grab on that end of the floor, which from a GW perspective, you can't be allowing that to happen.
I was just about to bring up the rebounding, Brendan. Has to be the thing that's most glaring on the stat sheet. Fordham out-rebounding this GW team 25-12, 10 offensive rebounds for the Rams. The GW's 1. Brendan, and even on the defensive rebounding category, 15 defensive rebounds to GW's 11. It's been a domination on the glass from Fordham that's kept them in this one and has kept them dominating a game, shooting 1 for 15 from 3. That's not easy to do, Brendan, at all.
No, it's not, but Chris, it's very hard to fall behind when you're able to give yourself 2 or 3 chances on the offensive end every single possession. That's what this Fordham team has been able to do, whether they get a good look at first and whether they make it or miss it. Right now, the odds say they're going to get another shot on that possession. So definitely something that GW was probably harping on in the locker room during halftime, and something that Fordham wants to keep going.
both these teams relatively efficient going into the half. Fordham really efficient, 4 for their last 5 field goals. Tyrone Marshall has been the most efficient guy for GW. He's made his last 4 shots. He's leading GW with 8 points. That's a low point total to be leading his team with. On the other side, it's 12 points from Day Reeves, specifically down the stretch of that first half. That's leading Fordham.
Yeah, Day took over down there. That stretch towards the end of the first half, when Fordham really needed that boost of offense, Day subbed back into the game, and he gave it to them. And whether that was him kind of drawing the defense in and finding teammates, or whether that was him doing it on his own, he's got 4 assists to go along with his 12 points, Chris. So just an all-around good game on the offensive end from him.
On the offensive end, it's been efficient for the Rams, but as we said, even one of the first couple possessions going into the halftime, it's been the defensive prowess that has led to that good offense.
It has, and you have to love it if you're Coach Magpie when your team is turning defense into offense like that, whether it's not allowing those offensive rebounds and forcing tough shots, or whether it's, we saw a couple times towards the end of that first half, a couple of steals that Fordham was able to take down and get fast break points off of. When we're able to do stuff like that, it makes the game a whole lot simpler.
GW struggling at the free throw line as well. They're 2 for 5 from the line. That's the difference in the game right there. Fordham known throughout the season for not getting to the line very often and not being super efficient when they get there. That continues in that first half, only shooting 1 free throw in the half. For a team, Brendan, that only made 1 3 and 1 free throw to have a 3-point lead starting the second half. You got to feel good. And you got to feel good that you got to feel you're going to play better in the second half as well.
You have to. I mean, you have to imagine that some of these threes are going to fall. You have to imagine that you're going to get some calls in this half, that you're going to go up and draw some fouls. So it's those easy parts of the game that you have to imagine will come around at some point. But if you keep playing the way you're playing right now, you have to feel pretty good.
As we said, it's 12 points leading the game for Day Reeves, the marquee player for the Fordham Rams. He's 6 for 10 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, but has still made a very, very efficient case so far in that first half, only missing 1 shot outside of the 3-point line, 6 for 10 in general. The team's efficient outside of that. As we said, 1 for 15 from the 3-point line. Akira Jacobs on the only 3, but everything inside the line, Fordham's been efficient enough to keep themselves above water.
Yeah, and that is a combination of those mid-range shots that we've seen from Christian Henry, we've seen from Day Reeves, and we've seen even the 2 big guys down low getting involved down there. But it's also, you look at Day Reeves and Christian Henry, their ability to get downhill, to get to the basket, and make tough layups.
Fordham Rams have fallen apart, or maybe that's too strong of a word, have lost their dominance in games that they lead down the stretch of the second half. We'll see if that happens tonight, or if they stay strong through the second half and complete a very impressive win here on the road in the A-10. We'll see. We'll get started here for our second half at the Smith Center. It's GW starting it off offensively for the second half. They'll go right to left. We are on the sideline right in front of Coach Magpio and the Fordham bench. Coach Magpio directly in front of me can reach out and touch him as Jones misses the top of the arc 3, and that's how GW will start offensively. Fordham coming the other way. Christian Henry, top of the arc. Fordham going left to right in their away maroon uniforms in white numbers and letters. Rika Schulte, top of the arc to Jack Whitbourne. Jack Whitbourne looking for a dribble handoff. Can't find one, eventually finds Akira Jacobs. Jacobs to Schulte, right corner. Schulte brings it all the way back out to the top of the key. To Henry, a cutting Henry. Henry, bounce pass downstairs, is stolen away. GW steals it under the basket, and Johnson's going the other way. Kick out Jones, pump fake to Johnson, extra pass, his 3, no good. Garrett Johnson, no good. Whitbourne there on the defensive glass. Fordham controls offensively. 19:03 to go in this first half. Still a 34-31 Fordham lead. Schulte, right wing, stops, looks for a pass, finds Jacobs back door, and the pass just a little out in front of Akira Jacobs, out of bounds on the baseline.
And the right idea there, Akira Jacobs fakes coming back for the handoff and cuts, and Schulte has him there a little open, just a little awry with that bounce pass.
Both teams slowly starting this second half. 34-31, still the first half score. 18:45 to go in this second half. Pass inside, kicked out, right corner. Autry's 3, no good. Schulte soaring to grab that rebound. A whistle called on the foul, and it'll go the other way. Fordham will still control.
And Chris, that's a look that GW is happy with. They love Autry out there behind the three-point line. The skip pass to Autry on the wing, he has the open look. But again, the story of the game, they're just not hitting those right now.
GW more efficient from three than Fordham, but that's not saying much. They're 3 for 11 now from the three-point line. Henry, deep on the left wing, guarded by Jones. Henry driving through the lane, spinning right, putting up a shot front of the rim, and gets it to roll. Christian Henry with a good layup after a very impressive journey to the rim. Jones being guarded by Christian Henry now on the offensive end. GW trying to score. Down 5, Jones at the right block, kicks it out. Stolen by Day Reeves. Autry tried to hold on to it. He did. And GW keeps controlling offensively. Jones driving, and it's stripped away. Henry guarding him through the lane, and he stripped it on the drive. Out to Akira Jacobs. His three. It's good! Fordham has 2 made threes tonight, both of them from Akira Jacobs. Fordham out to their biggest lead of the afternoon, 39-31, 17:36 to go in the second half.
Defense into offense, Chris. The strip and then the three.
Johnson, left-handed hook, no good at the rim. Heavily contested by Akira Jacobs. He won't get the shot to go, but he'll go to the line for 2. Foul on Akira Jacobs there. And a little bit of extracurriculars on the mini huddles between both teams under the rim. The officials sorting that one out. No harm, no foul, no technicals or anything like that.
Christian Henry not happy there. It looked like he was one of the players involved.
Yeah. Christian Henry immediately going for a little powwow with the official and his head coach, Mike Magpayo, at midcourt. Christian Henry now putting his arm around his coach, Mike Magpayo, and they discuss something with good nature. Coach Mike Magpayo calling Christian Henry the most important element of this Fordham team. As the first free throw, good there at the line for Johnson. Notable returner Garrett Johnson at the line for 2. 5 points so far tonight. Johnson working in to the biggest Fordham lead of the afternoon, 39-32, now 39-33 after the second made free throw, 17.5 to go in this second half. Pass into Schulte, full court press from GW. Inbounded to Schulte just to break the press. He gets across half court. Beautiful job from Schulte. Inside to Whitbourne. His floater goes. Like he was holding a pizza with his right hand. Whitbourne pushed that one into the rim. What a play from Jack.
And Schulte with a little hook pass to Whitbourne down in the middle right by the basket there.
Schulte going coast to coast to dump that one off. And a 3 made right as that possession started. Argerin got a wide open left wing 3 and he took advantage. John Argerin, the Hofstra transfer, a slightly difficult name that I eventually got. He'll come out of the game now. That in favor of Marshall, Tyron Marshall Jr., perfect in that first half, 4 for 4 from the field. They want more of that offensive prowess here in the second half.
They're looking for someone to take over that scoring that you have Castro not being able to bring in tonight.
Absolutely. GW with the bat signal out here down the stretch. 41-36. They trail by 5. Whitbourne has it. Pass inside to Rika Schulte. Extra pass. Akira Jacobs in the corner. No good. The whole bench thought that one was going in. GW now controls the other way after the miss. Jones, beautiful pass in the right corner. Pass to a cutting Marshall. His shot at the rim, no good. Beautiful contest from Whitbourne. His first miss of the afternoon. Outlet pass up ahead. The lob pass ends up beautifully into the arms of Rika Schulte. He can't finish at the rim, but a foul called on the shot, and he'll go to the line for 2. Wonderful play on both ends from the Rams.
And Christian Henry very excited he got that call. With the no-look pass there over the top, he actually, I think we might have made eye contact when he passed that ball, Chris, over the top to Schulte down low.
First one from Schulte goes. Fordham Rams, as we said at halftime, have had trouble getting to the line so far this season amongst some of the bottom teams in the country at getting to the line. But when they can do it, the offense is very efficient, Brendan. Second one good at the line as well. George Washington trying to score on the offensive end. They trail by 7, 16 minutes to go in the second half. Jones, pass to Marshall, straight on 3. It's good. Catch and fire 3 from the Western Kentucky transfer goes. And GW back within 4, 43-39, 16 minutes to go.
And Marshall, not typically a three-point shooter, only 32% on the year, but gets that one to go to add on to his point total, make it 11.
Rams trying to limit GW momentum. Day Reeves, double teamed on the right wing to Whitbourne. Extra pass, Christian Henry, left wing three, got it to go! He put three fingers up to his mouth and kissed it in the Italian nature. He was pumped up after that one. The first Ram not named Akira Jacobs to make a three this afternoon. Pass inside, broken up and stolen by the Rams. It's Christian Henry leading the break. Henry through the right side of the lane, he pushes it back out. He'll dribble it back out to the perimeter, resetting the play. Left to right crossover, drives baseline, and finishes at the rim amongst traffic. What a play from Christian Henry. He screams to the rafters after that play. And a timeout GW. Rams are feeling it.
Christian Henry screaming and flexing after that one. You mentioned it, Chris, in among the trees, uses that strength, that power of his to create some space.
Fordham Rams with as much momentum as they've had in their A-10 schedule all season long. 48-39, they lead over GW. 15:06 to go in this second half. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace McCarran and I'm one of your 2025-26 New York Islanders beat reporters for WFUV Sports. Follow me on X at Grace McCarran_ for live game updates, features, and other inside content from the island all season long. From the development of first overall pick Matthew Schaefer to incredible saves by Ilya Sorokin, WFUV Sports has you covered every step of the way as the Isles look towards the postseason. WFUV is your home for New York sports.
15:06 here at the Smith Center on the campus of George Washington University. Chris Carrino joined by Brendan Shorey. What a stretch for the Fordham Rams. They lead 48-39 over the George Washington Revolutionaries. A three from Christian Henry going into the timeout. The first three made by Fordham. That wasn't Akira Jacobs all afternoon long. Our sports manager, our beloved sports manager, Joe Henry, not in the studio, not on the broadcast here with us at the gym, still absolutely locked in at home. Before that Christian Henry three, Akira Jacobs contributing to 47% of the made threes from Fordham this season. Got that stat from Joe Henry. After the Christian Henry three, it was 45%. The point still stands. Akira Jacobs, a major part of the three-point shooting of this Fordham team, and it makes a bigger point about just how good this Fordham team's been offensively.
Yeah, Akira Jacobs has been so good, especially as of recent. I mean, you look at he led this Fordham team in scoring last game with 13, and now today coming in and being the only guy hitting threes early in the game. Finally, others are getting involved as well, but just so consistent, so reliable out there.
Trying to see if Fordham can compound their momentum. A 9-point lead for the Rams, 15:06 to go in this matchup. It'll be Trey Dinkins starting it off for GW after the timeout. In the right wing to Autry, back to Dinkins. Dinkins guarded by the very long Louis Lesmond. The Frenchman to Marshall, also guarded by Louis Lesmond. Back out Dinkins. Dinkins having some trouble. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Out Johnson. Johnson deep on the left wing. Only has 4 seconds to work with. Drives inside, puts up a floater, and got it to go. A demoralizing play if you're the Rams. What a play by Johnson at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, George Washington couldn't really seem to figure out that Fordham zone defense there until finally Johnson gets something to go at the very end.
Rams lead cut to 7, 14.5 to go. Henry on the left wing. Passes out Lesmond. Quick pass inside to Whitbourne, who finishes at the rim. Resourceful play there from the Harvard transfer Lesmond.
And you can see the intelligence there, catching that ball in midair and getting rid of it before even landing.
Boo Boo Benjamin to Johnson, straight on. He'll take a three. No good off left side of the rim, and Christian Henry flying to get that rebound. A foul called in the backcourt. Christian Henry mugged under the basket by Marshall. Tyron Marshall picking up the foul in the backcourt. another timeout. It'll be a media timeout.
Yeah, and George Washington not too happy about that one. They think that should have been a jump ball, but that one goes against them. Christian Henry, a great job holding on to that ball into the basket, and Fordham will take it.
Fordham going into the media timeout, still maintaining their massive momentum, a 50-41 lead, 14 minutes to go exactly on the second half clock. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for another one-on-one scoreboard update with Lydia Perner. Take it away, Lydia.
One-on-one scoreboard.
25 hoops. We've talked some New York sports. I think it's time to talk some A10 hoops to see what the Rams are up against. St. Joseph's and LaSalle are currently clashing in Philadelphia. St. Joseph's currently leads 31-29 with just under 2 remaining in the first half. Let's see if the Explorers can force an upset in their city of brotherly love. Davidson and Richmond will tip off at 4:30 with Richmond favored in that one. Fordham could certainly use a Richmond loss there and a win here this afternoon to help climb themselves out of the basement of the A10. The final matchup in the A10 will be George Mason and St. Bonaventure. Not the best season for the Bonnies, who find themselves second to last in the conference. Meanwhile, George Mason is 7-1 in conference and second to only St. Louis. The Bonnies will host this one. Tip-off will be 7 o'clock. Stay tuned for one last update where we'll preview the dream February for sports fans. But for now, back to Chris and Brendan to see how the Rams can disrupt the conference. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Lydia Perner.
A beautiful, cold Saturday here at the nation's capital, catching you the week before the Super Bowl, that sort of tweener week as you wait for the biggest game of the season. We have you ready for A10 action here in Washington. It's been a fun one so far. Chris Carrino, joined by my partner, Brendan Shorey. It's been back and forth all game, Brendan, but the last, I would say, 5 to 6 minutes, it's been all Fordham Rams.
Yeah, and we saw a 3-point game at half that was a very tough shot away from being a 6-point lead for Fordham going into the break, and maybe we thought there would be a little bit of a momentum shift from the Fordham side to George Washington, but the way this Fordham team has come out in the second half and has played, it doesn't seem like that momentum has really shifted, Chris.
No, absolutely not. The Rams still playing with that confidence that they had going into the locker room. That's the most important thing. If this Fordham team plays with a certain level of confidence, their play matches that as well.
And you hear it all the time in sports. It's short-term memory. You have to have short-term memory. You have to forget about the last play. Whatever happened, let the last play. If you made a mistake, you have to forget about it. You have a fresh slate. You can't be remembering all these things and letting them drag you down. It seems like Fordham has done just that. Just
to put some of Fordham's momentum on paper here, Fordham making 5 of their last 6 field goals. Day-Day Reeves making 6 of his last 7 field goals, along with Akira Jacobs. He's made 3 of his last 4 field goals. Christian Henry, he's made 4 of his last 5. It's been an efficient stretch for the Rams. Christian Henry on the right elbow, no good from the mid-range, and now GW coming the other way. Dinkins at the rim, no good. A block from Christian Henry, and that ball's out of bounds. It'll stay, or no, it's out of bounds off of GW. Christian Henry with a block in transition, knocking the ball off of Dinkins, and Christian Henry with maybe his best defensive play of the season, getting Fordham the ball back.
And Chris, that is already the second time this half that Christian Henry has been one-on-one with a GW player and has stripped them while going up for the layup.
Christian Henry with 13 points tonight. He's done it on both ends, Brendan. A true leader for this Fordham squad this afternoon. Day-Day Reeves and Christian Henry, so much of this team's weight lies on their shoulders. They've acted like it this afternoon. Day-Day Reeves, top of the arc, gets it to Christian Henry. The backcourt duo at the top of the key. Drifting over to the right wing, directing Louis Lesmond, who's running baseline. Gets it to Bodija. Bodija at the free throw line. Spinning left. Puts up a floater. It doesn't go. Whitbourne there on the second chance. Extra pass to Lesmond. Extra pass to Reeves. That 3, no good. Bodija there once again on the second chance. Bodija gets it to go on the putback. Bodija with the tongue out at the bench. And 2 offensive rebounds and a putback. You get to do that, Brendan.
Chance after chance after chance is what this Fordham offense is creating, Chris.
And Bodija steals it in the left corner. Marshall went to dribble baseline, and Bodija took it away. Henry going right around the screen, and he's fouled on the floor. It's Aranguren picking up the foul for the Revolutionaries. Fordham playing with a grit, Brendan, and Fordham playing with a swag. it's a combination you can't really beat.
It really is, Chris, and that's something that Coach Bagpaio had been stressing since early in the season. He wants to see that hustle, and the culmination of all of it, we can see it out there today.
Henry on the right side of the baseline, inbounding this one under the basket for the Rams. Gets it to Bodija, gets it right back to Henry. Henry, right corner, guarded tightly, drives baseline, kick to the other corner, the left corner. Lesbon has trouble with it, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover for the Rams, something they want to limit down the stretch of this one. Still an 11-point lead, largest lead of the evening, 52-41. Fordham leading GW, 12.5 to go in this one. Dinkins on the other wing to Aranguren. Aranguren to Marshall at the free throw line. Takes a pound dribble. No good on the right-handed floater. Put back good, plus the foul for Luke Hunger. Luke Hunger waiting under the basket. Perfect place at the perfect time.
Yeah, perfect place, perfect time. That's the perfect way to say it, Chris. Just grabs the air ball and is able to put it up with the Boss Bodija on his back.
Berger going to the line. Or Hunger going to the line. Berger, Hunger, same thing. 6 points, 3 rebounds for Hunger tonight. Luke Hunger, the Northwestern transfer, spent 3 years at Northwestern. Actually made 10 starts in the Big Ten last year at Northwestern. Jack Whitbourne and Christian Henry subbing out of this one right in front of us. Christian Henry sort of paying close attention to his hand, possibly weathering something. These guys are so tough, Brendan. You don't ever know if it's really an injury or not. It'll be Luke Hunger at the line, trying to complete the three-point play, and he does. Big free throw for GW. They're back within 8. 52-44, 12-20 left to go in this second half. Lesmond going to get it to Day-Day Reeves. He'll bring it up and break the press. Reeves, guarded by Dinkins, gets across half court. Drifting over to the right wing. Spinning right, driving right side of the lane. Puts up a contested layup that goes. Day-Day with his whole bench on their feet, and the Fordham Rams continue their offensive momentum.
Day-Day's so good at using his body, creating the contact, and just finding the opening to get the shot up.
Marshall kicked out to Benjamin, who cashes in the 3. Boo, Benjamin from the right corner gets that one to go, and he has GW back within 7. 11:40 to go in the second half. Day-Day Reeves, left to right crossover, past Dinkins. Now at the right elbow, back out, Bodija. Dribble handoff to Akor, faked it. Now has it at the left wing. Isolation with Marshall. Backing down Marshall. Pass right corner, intercepted. Benjamin got hands on it. Intercepted by Boo Boo. He has it on the left wing. Extra pass, left corner. Marshall driving baseline, puts up a shot, middle of the lane, no good. A foul on the floor, on the rebound. It'll stay here with GW. 11:14 on the clock. A timeout taken after that play.
They're going to get a Boss Bodija there on the floor, on the rebound. Looks like against Luke Hunger. Just gives him a little bit too much arm when trying to box him out.
Fordham Rams still holding on to their momentum, but they got to work in order to keep this lead what it is. 54-47, Fordham leading GW. 11:14 to go in this second half. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey Devils fans, Tucker Austin here from WFUV Sports, one of your New Jersey Devils beat reporters for the 2025-26 season. From Hughes Brothers Havoc to Heischer Hat Tricks and Markstrom Masterclasses, I'll have you covered live from the Prudential Center for all things Jersey hockey. Follow me on X at @Taustin_24, where I'll have live game updates, analysis, and post-game coverage all season long as the Black and Red look to bring Lord Stanley back to the Rock. WFUV Sports is your home for everything New Jersey Devils.
(54-47), 11:14 to go in the second half. The Fordham Rams leading GW It was an impassionate, Brendan, start of the second half for the Fordham Rams. Around the first 5 to 6 minutes of the half, about as euphoric as it's been for the Rams all season. But since then, Brendan, GW has slightly stormed back and gotten back into this one.
Yeah, Fordham definitely captured that momentum early in the half, Chris. It seemed like every single possession they were going down and putting points on the board, and then GW was able to get a stop and go down and get some points and kind of limit that momentum shift that Fordham had, and has sort of started to climb back into it. It's still a 7-point Fordham lead, but you can tell there's a little something in the air here.
GW trailing by as much as 11 in this one. The tide starting to turn, as Brendan was saying, 3 for their last 4 threes. A team that couldn't buy a 3 in the first half of this one. Luke Hunger with an and one a few possessions ago. He's 3 for 4 from his 3 for his last 4 from the field. He has 7 points for GW. It's Tyrone Marshall Jr. leading the way for GW. He has 11. And it's Day-Day Reeves leading the game. He has 14 points for the Rams. Christian Henry just 1 point behind him with 13. Fordham backcourt combining for 27 of the Rams' 54 points. And a foul under the basket there. It'll stay on this side with GW. Out of bounds, it'll stay with GW.
Yeah, good defensive possession there, if you want to call that a full possession on the inbound from Fordham, not allowing any entry pass.
And it'll be inbounded on the right side of the baseline into Hunger. Hunger gets it to Boo Boo Benjamin. Boo Boo pass on the right wing to Dinkins. His 3 no good. Second chance brought down by Benjamin. Benjamin gets it to Marshall, left wing. Back it down the much smaller Lesmond. Second defender brought over, and Hunger tried to take advantage of the second defender and got stripped. Rika Schulte stripping the ball away on his way up, and Fordham now has it offensively. Hunger, the lone offensive player, left alone. Rika Schulte didn't matter. Day-Day Reeves through the middle of the lane, through the very middle of the lane, and gets a bucket to go in traffic on Benjamin.
And Day-Day let him know afterwards, letting out some sort of yell and getting a tech for that.
And I think that's a bit ridiculous, Brendan. I understand the taunting element of the penalty, but to yell kind of just in the air, I don't really know if that's necessarily a technical. The official in front of us explaining to Coach McPaio that he actually made contact with the defender, and when he made contact with the defender, that was when the official made the decision.
One of those that could go either way in my eyes, Chris.
And Dinkins going to take the technical free throws for GW. He made the first and made the second, wiping away the field goal Day-Day Reeves made. Disappointing for Fordham. They still have a 7-point lead, 56-49, 10:39 to go in this second half. It'll also be GW getting the ball after the free throws. Dinkins bringing it up for GW. Cross half court. Aaron Gurin has it top of the arc. Inside, Marshall, pound dribbling, backs into Schulte. Back out, Aaron Gurin. Left corner. After the kick out, Dinkins set his feet, and when he set his feet, he was out of bounds. An unforced turnover for GW. Fordham will get the ball back.
Yeah, break there for Fordham after the tech giving that extra possession to GW, but they give it right back.
After the unforced turnover for the Revolutionaries, still a 7-point lead for the Rams. They look to compound on it. 10:20 to go in the second half. Dinkins with tight defense on Reeves. Reeves to the middle of the lane. Floater no good. Defended heavily by Aaron Gurin. Aaron Gurin will take it. Brought up by Aaron Gurin. Pass to Marshall. Right wing. Heavy screen. He goes left around the screen. Marshall tried to get it into Hunger. It's poked away by Jacobs. Fordham has it. More great defense from the Rams. Day-Day Reeves looking at Magpile for direction. They'll set up a play. Day-Day Reeves waltzing on the GW logo. Pass to Schulte on the roll. Driving inside. Kick out to Rohr. Extra pass to Jacobs. Back out to Day-Day Reeves. Reeves picked up by heavy defense. Reeves splitting defenders as he does. Kick out. Rohr his 3. It's good! The true freshman Rohr gets that one to go from the beautiful feed from Day-Day Reeves. A quick 3 from Benjamin on the other side. Doesn't go off left side of rim. Second chance for GW. That one goes. Aaron Gurin picked up the offensive rebound, waltzed past the three-point line, and took a 3. What presence of mind from Aaron Gurin.
Yeah, Chris, we talked about it already, how quick this GW team is, how fast they like to play. Right there's a prime example.
The Venezuelan junior responded almost immediately for GW. It'll be a reach-in foul on Day Reeves deep in the left wing. Day Reeves being harassed on the left wing. Finally got the call.
And it seems like Dinkin kind of almost wrapped Day Reeves up as if you would do in a little football. A little like two-hand touch football, wraps him up a little bit.
Day Reeves going to inbound it directly across from us on the sideline. Going right around the Schulte screen. Pounding inside. Pass to Schulte. He has trouble with it. Back out to Jacobs. Fordham resets. 12 on the shot clock. 10 on the shot clock. 8:52 on the game clock. Reeves, left to right crossover. Driving right side of the lane. Mid-ranger, no good from 10 feet. A fight on the glass. We'll see what the foul is called. I believe it's on Fordham. It'll be out of bounds, and GW will have it the other way. No foul call.
Yeah, and Day with a tough shot, but we know he can make those. A tough shot over the hand of the defender. Unfortunately for him, not able to get that one to go. And then the rebound, one that, again, another very close call to give it to GW though.
Louis Lesmond subbing out of this one. That's in favor of Christian Henry. Fordham backcourt back out there together. 8:45 to go in this matchup. 59-52 Fordham lead. Inside to Johnson. Johnson's right-handed floater. No good on the touch. And Schultz there on the defensive glass. Day Reeves will slow it down in the backcourt. Give it to Christian Henry, who will take it. Henry slowly getting it across half court to Day Reeves. Reeves to Schulte. Schulte faking the dribble handoff out to Akira Jacobs. Top of the arc. Dribble handoff to Akor. Akor, same spot to Reeves. Reeves right wing. Inside to Henry. Henry, beautiful dump off pass. No good on the layup from Akira Jacobs. GW corralling it, bringing it the other way quickly. Johnson, top of the arc, driving inside. Kick out Jones. Jones, guarded left wing by Akira Jacobs. Drives inside, blocked by Akor. A fight for it on the ground. A pass from the ground to Jones, who finishes it out the glass. What a play on the ground to pass that one, and Jones finishes it.
And that was Marshall Chris on the ground, already on the ground, grabs it and gives the little bounce pass.
Defensive chance breaking out in the student section behind us. 5-point lead for the Rams, 7:40 on the game clock. Henry, right wing, tried a step back, and he hurt his ankle. Christian Henry hurt his ankle, completely stopped his dribble, and went to hold his ankle in pain on the ground. Completely stopped playing the possession and is now on the ground in pain. This does not look good for Christian Henry. Trainer now out there for the Rams holding his ankle. You rarely see a player completely stop a possession to hold themselves in pain.
And Chris, I didn't see any ankle twist or anything like that. He was holding what was very close to where his calf is.
And Coach Ryan Highland and team trainer now have Chris's arms on both necks, trying to get him off the floor. Can't get off the floor under his own power. He now walks off with help from a few others. Louis Lesmond going to be the Fordham Ram to check into this one in replacement of Christian Henry. That's not a great sign if you're the Fordham Rams. Jack Whitbourne also checking in for the Rams.
No, that's a very, very bad sign for Fordham. One of your best players, one of your second leading scorer on the day, non-contact injury right there on that play. Just a horrifying sight for Fordham.
A bigger lineup now for the Fordham Rams. Jack Whitbourne, Louis Lesmond, Akor, and it'll be either Akira Jacobs or Rika Schulte in there along with Day Reeves. It'll be basically, as I mentioned them before, the Trees and Day Reeves. A larger lineup out there with the primary ball handler, Day.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a better way to describe it, Chris. Day and the Trees.
From a team stat perspective, Fordham has gotten more efficient as this half has gone along. Fordham shooting in between 40 and 50% in that first half. They're now shooting above 50% for the game, 26 for 52 from the field. And it's been efficient for the Rams. The defense staying consistent is the most important thing.
Yeah, you just got to keep that high defensive level out there on the court. If you're able to do that and keep this George Washington team from taking momentum now, you're able to keep yourself in this game.
Christian Henry, from what we understand, will be subbing out of this one. He's receiving medical attention. It was somewhere on his left foot. He grabbed it in the serious nature of an Achilles or something of that nature. Just not sure if that was the severity of the injury or not. He knew almost immediately, though, as soon as it happened. Christian has dealt with ankle problems and injuries in general this season. Wonder if one of the nagging ones continues. Leo, one of the team trainers the strength coach for the Fordham Rams, Leo, along with Aiden Crotty, the walk-on for this Fordham team, looking behind the bench, checking in with Christian Henry, who's getting attention from behind the bench that's directly to our right. And now Fordham has to get back focused. 7:35 to go in this second half. 59-54 Fordham lead. As we said, it's Day in the trees. Jones, top of the arc, in the left corner to Marshall. Marshall guarded by Rieke Schulte. Schulte guarding tightly. It's now Johnson has it. Right wing. Johnson takes a three. No good. Benjamin soaring for the rebound. He got it. It's Autry. Left wing. No good on the three. Trey Autry couldn't get it to go. It'll be out of bounds, staying with GW. Benjamin hitting it off Akira Jacobs, and it'll stay with the Revolutionaries.
Chris, this time when they need it most, George Washington able to get the offensive rebounds, giving themselves extra chances.
7:11 to go in the second half. 59-54 Rams. It's Schulte stealing the ball in the inbound. Marshall was the one to get it on the inbound, and Schulte guarding him in the right corner took it away, Brendan. What a play.
And then Marshall fouled Schulte right afterwards. Schulte just a fantastic play, but the steal draws the foul, gives Fordham the ball back.
Marshall's second foul of the afternoon, no one in this one with more than two. Fouls have not been a major aspect of this one. Louis Lesmond doing a good job with his ball handling, getting across half court, breaking the GW press. Fordham working offensively in the half court. Just under 7 minutes to go. Lesmond, top of the arc to Whitbourne. Whitbourne, dribble handoff, fakes it to Day Reeves. Now top of the arc, drifts over to the right wing, gives it to Akira Jacobs. Jacobs rolling through the middle of the lane, kicked it to Schulte, extra pass, Jacobs. His three is good! The Japanese transfer from Hawaii gets that one to go. After an array of quick passes, Akira Jacobs quickly at the end of the shot clock heaves up that one and gets it to go from the left wing. What a play from Akira Jacobs. And Brendan, I mean, what a play. Wow.
One more time, Chris.
Happened so fast.
What a play.
It happened so fast I couldn't accurately articulate it, but the Fordham Rams resourcefully working really well at the end of the shot clock there. I mean, wow.
And Chris, they're currently reviewing this one for
some reason.
For that reason. The basket's good, no shot clock violation.
I don't think there was a single person in the auditorium to think that one was not in time. Akira Jacobs gets that one to go and gets his Rams back out to an 8-point lead. 62-54, 6:36 in this second half. Akira Jacobs giving his Fordham offense a massive bump. Now Christian Jones bringing it up for GW. Pass inside to Marshall. Marshall on the baseline. Dribble handoff. Johnson, left wing, pump fakes, drives inside. No good on the layup. Heavily contested by Whitbourne, and Schulte's there on the defensive glass. Had to wrestle for it, but eventually gathered it. Schulte going to bring it across half court for the Rams. Day Reeves guarded heavily. He decided to do it himself, and he lost it. He's on the ground now. It'll be a held ball on the ground, and that possession arrow will stay with the Rams. Rieke Schulte bleeding on his mouth, picking up battle scars, Brendan.
And Chris, that's back-to-back possessions where this GW team has face guarded Day Reeves so closely that they can't even get him the ball.
And I believe it's going to stay here with the Rams. Both teams standing around confused as we are audibly. Rieke Schulte continuing to bleed from the right side of his upper lip. He'll stay in this one.
Referee needing to check him to make sure he's not.
Yeah, official going over just to double check on him, making sure he's all right. Official giving a thumbs up to the scores table, telling them we're all good. 62-54, Fordham still with that lead, 6:12 in the second half. Day Reeves inbounding it directly across from us. It'll be an off-the-ball foul on the inbound. It'll go on GW. I believe that one will be
On Garrett Johnson, it'll be a push, and it'll stay here with the Rams. Rams now in the bonus. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Louis Lesmond. He'll lead off the 1-and-1.
And that's a gift, Chris, from GW, giving Fordham a chance for 3 points here.
Lesmond, good at the line, good on the first, especially in the 1-and-1, Brendan. Team that has not been excellent at the line. It's major to hit these.
And Lesmond, not necessarily the best free throw shooter on this Rams team. A little bit over 40% on the year.
Lesmond on his second. No good. Off front rim. A fight for it on the glass, and it'll be off GW. Fordham ball. Jack Whitbourne and Rika Schulte yelling at each other, amped up after that play. Rika Schulte knocking it off a GW defender to keep that Fordham ball. The hustle for the Rams persists.
And Chris, what a presence this Rams front court has been today.
Reeves inbounding it to Schulte. Schulte has it on the left wing. Gets it back to Day-Day. Day-Day gonna reset the offense. Reeves in the middle of the GW logo. Gonna go on the left side of the lane. Knifing through defenders, pump faking him, then putting up a shot. No good on the shot, but he'll go to the rim, or he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. The Fordham Rams doing what they haven't been able to do all season long, and that's get to the line.
And Day-Day Reeves, after that one, holding on to his left hand. It seemed like maybe he braced himself there on the fall, but going to the line, shaking it off.
Christian Henry still receiving attention privately in the corner. You see a rotation of Fordham assistant coaches going to check on him. Derek Phelps, the most recent example, just entering back into the bench after checking on his point guard, Day-Day Reeves. Good on the first free throw. Still the 1-and-1 for the Rams. They want to make these free throws. 5:57 to go in this one. 64-54, Rams lead. Still a double-digit lead for Fordham. It'll be Day-Day missing the second free throw. GW gets the rebound. They're going the other way. We top of the arc now. Autry has it for GW, takes a straight on three, no good. Marshall's there resourcefully under the basket for an offensive rebound. It's now Jones kicking it out to Autry. Extra pass to Marshall. Extra pass to Johnson. Johnson driving through the right side of the lane, trying to break through his defender. Kick out Jones, his three. It's good! Christian Jones gets that one to go, and after a high-effort defensive possession, Fordham can't keep George Washington from scoring.
And Jones from deep there.
Coach McPaio complaining on that possession. Seems that the officials didn't count one of the free throws. He says the score is wrong on the scoreboard. I'm sure that's agitating. Day-Day Reeves on the left wing, trying to control this 7-point lead through the middle of the lane. Right-handed scoop shot, it's blocked. Blocked by Autry. Kicks it back out to Lesmond. Lesmond's three. End of the shot clock is good! Louis Lesmond, step back three from 30 feet goes on the left wing. And Brendan, everything is going right for the Rams. My goodness.
What a shot. As the shot clock expired, Chris, Louis Lesmond looked up, saw that shot clock, said one, and just heaved it up. Nothing but net on that one.
Louis Lesmond, 10 for 50 from the three-point line this season. A guy who made who got his mantra at Harvard last season as a 3-and-D guy. He has struggled this season and struggled mightily from the three-point line. That end of shot clock, 30-foot step-back three, Brendan, maybe the best moment of his season so far. Also, just to give another piece of good news, if there couldn't be any more good news for this Fordham team, Brendan, look who just rejoined the huddle. Christian Henry rejoining the Fordham Rams, standing in the huddle. Looks like he's going to go back into this one after the timeout.
Not just standing on his own power.
Standing in his own power amongst the rest of the starters, and yes, Christian Henry waltzing his way back out onto the floor, doing some high knees, and he'll be back out on the floor for the Rams. I don't know if things can go better for Fordham right now.
They genuinely, I don't know if they can, Chris. Everything, it seems, is going Fordham's way right now.
Louis Lesmond, the Frenchman, giving the Fordham Rams possibly their biggest moment of the afternoon so far. They lead by double digits, 67-57, just under 5 minutes to go. Jones to Johnson on the left wing. GW trying to score desperately. Marshall, dribble handoff Jones. He'll take another three and get it to go. Christian Jones from almost the same spot gets that one to fly, and with nothing but nylon, GW gets back within 3, even closer. 67-60, 4.5 to go. Henry, after the injury, back in there for the Rams. He has it. Inside to Whitbourne. Whitbourne backing down Marshall. Turns left, puts up a long skying shot. No good, but there on the second chance. Jack Whitbourne pumped up to get that one to go. He struggled, Brendan, for second chance points all season long.
Bread and butter right there, Chris. The offensive rebound, the second chance points.
Jones to Johnson. Johnson pump faking back to Jones. Jones, top of the arc, through the middle of the lane. Beautiful bounce pass inside. Marshall couldn't hold on to it, and it's a Fordham forced turnover.
Again, Chris, the front court, Schulte and Whitbourne excited after that one, forcing the GW turnover.
After that turnover from GW, Fordham will get the ball back. They lead 69-60, just under 4 minutes to go. 3:58 to go in this second half. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for another one-on-one scoreboard update with Lydia Perner. Take it away, Lydia.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
With the last update here this afternoon coinciding with the last day of January, let's take a look at the exciting February sports schedule ahead. The 2026 Winter Olympics will be kicking off next week in Milan. About 2,900 of the best athletes across the globe will be taking the ice and snow, with the opening ceremony set for Friday. Us hockey fans will be seeing the NHL players competing for the first time since 2014 in Sochi. Lindsey Vonn was also scheduled to make her Olympic return on the slopes for the States, but after a scary crash yesterday, her future is up in the air, but she has not ruled out competing. Within the Olympic Games, which will run from the 6th to the 22nd, is Super Bowl 60 between the Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots. The two wonderful broadcasters you have been listening to all afternoon will be wheels up to San Francisco, so stay tuned on our socials for that exciting content. Kickoff is set for 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, February 8th. Also, good luck to your Seahawks, Chris. Finally, the legendary Sports February will travel south from San Francisco down to LA for NBA All-Star Weekend from the 13th to the 15th. So much to look forward to in February, but for now, and for the final time this afternoon, we're sending it back to Chris and Brendan. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Lydia Perner.
Back here at GW, Fordham 69-60 lead over GW, 3:58 to go in the second half. A thank you to Lydia Perner, as always, another fantastic update. And of course, a shout out to my Seahawks, Brendan. Makes me smile. They'll play in the big game a little over a week from today. Also, I'll limit myself to one Seahawks stat. John Snyder, the GM of the Seahawks, the only GM in the history of the NFL to make 2 Super Bowls with 2 teams with no players in common. 2 completely different football teams. John Snyder has gotten to the Super Bowl, first GM ever. Anyway, back to the Fordham Rams. Fordham with 3:50 and counting. They work offensively. Lesmond gets it in on the left wing. Christian Henry drifting over to the left corner. He has it. Guarded tenaciously by Christian Jones. Works his way inside. Bodying his way inside. Kicked out. Kicked out to Day Reeves. Going left around to Schulte screen. Faked the kick out 3. Drives inside and it's rejected. Marshall with force blocking that one. It'll be out of bounds on the baseline. Fordham will have it. Only 2 seconds to work with offensively. 2 seconds on the shot clock. 3:30 to work with on the game clock. 69-60 Fordham lead. Henry inbounding on the right baseline to Akira. Jacobs puts it up. No good, but a foul is called. A really lucky foul for the Rams. They've earned it through their physical play, and a lob pass on the inbound works really well there, Brendan.
Yeah, only 2 seconds, Chris. It's got to be something quick. Fordham elects to go with an alley-oop-esque type of play, getting one of your big guys up around the rim. And Akira Jacobs, it looked like he was going to put it up straight off the jump, but decides to come down with it, ends up getting the late foul call.
Akira Jacobs, one of the best free throw shooters on this roster, as he misses the first free throw.
I think he jinxed him.
Off front rim, a little bit of a broadcaster's jinx on the first shot. Coming into this game, 20 for 26 in his free throw attempts this season.
Very efficient number. And the GW student section making some noise behind us, trying to inflict a missed free throw. They're unsuccessful. Akira Jacobs good on his second free throw. A split pair for Akira. Still a 10-point lead for the Rams. 70-60, 3.5 to go in the second half. Fordham Rams trying to hold on down the stretch here on the road. Marshall, dribble handoff. That three, right wing, no good from Autry. An offensive rebound tracked down by Jones. He wasn't quite quick enough. It'll be out of bounds, Fordham ball.
And a lot of GW fans a little upset because he ran into the ref trying to track that ball down.
It'll be Christian Henry. Full court pass on the inbound. Schulte has it, and Schulte tried to bounce pass it downstairs to Akira Jacobs. I think Christian Henry might have thrown that ball 80 to 85 feet, and Akira Jacobs caught it perfectly.
Yeah, Christian Henry looks like he was playing football out there, playing quarterback with that pass.
I put him on the other side of the line across from A.J. Barner. Have him catch some throws across the middle from Sam Darnold next weekend. My goodness. It's out of bounds after the inerrant pass. Fordham will have it on the baseline. It'll be a substitution for GW. It'll be Luke Hunger coming in for GW. Johnson subbing out for the Revolutionaries. Garrett Johnson coming out, a bigger lineup for George Washington. On the inbound, Henry to inbound it. Henry needs to get it in, he does. Henry to grab it. Day-Day, I think jumping 5 feet in the air to grab that one. Deep on the left wing, guarded by Aaron Gurin. Aaron Gurin following Day-Day, deep on the left wing. Day-Day behind the back dribble, trying to get past his defender, going left around a Schulte screen. Kicked out Henry. Cross-court pass, Jacobs inside. Schulte, pass, out pass, Reeves three, no good. Bounce pass, batted all the way out. Reeves on the fight, diving out of bounds to try and get that one, and it's out of bounds. GW ball. Fordham Rams gonna see if that one's reviewable or not.
And Coach McPile very quick, telling his staff to look at it.
2:45 to go on the game clock. 70-60, Fordham lead. Will be Dinkins, Trey Dinkins, the Duquesne transfer, bringing it up for George Washington. They let it roll for a few seconds just to save all the time they can. Time not on the side of the Revolutionaries. Pass in the right corner, Autry, pass quickly inside to Marshall. He's blocked from behind by Akira. Jacobs with a great play on the defensive end. Day-Day Reeves now bringing it up for the Rams. Henry now has it, controlling it for the Fordham offense. Deep on the left wing. Guarded by Autry. He directs the rest of his offense, going left around a Jacobs screen. Now picked up by a double team, trying to split defenders. Cross-court pass, and a travel called before the pass. Travel called by the official directly next to Christian. It'll be a turnover for Fordham. GW going to get it back.
Christian a little dumbfounded at that one, not thinking he traveled. So that one's going to go back to GW.
Dinkins, top of the arc. 2:11 and counting on the game clock. George Washington needs to get back into this one. They trail by 10. Jones kicks it out. Dinkins left wing three. No good off left side of rim. Lesmond there on the rebound. Outlet pass way ahead to Jacobs, who finishes it on the other end. Akira Jacobs jumping off one leg and finishing it with two hands. An emphatic slam for an emphatic performance from the Rams today.
Akira Jacobs making a statement on that one, Chris.
That looks smooth, Brendan.
It was a little too smooth, Chris. A little too smooth.
And Jacobs picking up the foul on the other end under the basket. George Washington working quickly, and Johnson tried to get a shot attempt on under the basket. Akira Jacobs fouled him. It'll be Johnson going to the line. Garrett Johnson for two. .146 on the game clock. 72-60 Fordham lead. Johnson at the line, missing the first. Off the back iron. George Washington cannot afford to miss free throws. It's Jack Whitbourne quickly subbing in for the Rams. He subs in favor of Akira Jacobs. Akira Jacobs' family directly behind us, giving their guy big ovations. Johnson really wants to make this one, and doesn't. 0 for 2 at the line for Garrett Johnson. Jack Whitbourne fouled purposefully under the basket after that missed free throw. 1:43 on the game clock. Early to foul purposefully, but yet they are. 72-60 Fordham lead.
Yeah, Chris, that does seem a bit early to start fouling. My only guess is maybe they're trying to take advantage of the ball being in Whitbourne's hands instead of anyone else's.
Kira Jacobs gonna waltz his way over to the scorer's table. He'll sub into this one. Jack Whitbourne at the line gets that one to go. Jack Whitbourne spent the majority of the non-con schedule not playing for Fordham, dealing with an injury. Brendan, the one thing when he was ramping up to full health he was able to do at practice before being fully cleared was free throws. Whitbourne on his second gets that one to go as well. The practice makes perfect for Jack Whitbourne, and he comes off the floor with a massive smile, subbing in for Akira Jacobs. A 14-point lead, the largest lead of the afternoon for the Rams. 74-60 lead, 1:40 to go in the second half. Johnson's long-range three is good. Garrett Johnson from 3 or 4 feet behind the three-point line gets that one to go, and he keeps GW's hopes slightly alive, Brendan.
Chris, he shot that one from the monument on the wood. He might as well have shot that one from the Lincoln Memorial.
Literally, because it's on the floor, etched into the floor, but also metaphorically.
He may as well have shot that from the Lincoln Memorial with how deep that one was.
My father, was on TV last night, gave the from Provo 3 call when a Yegor deep 3 went down late in that one. We were watching that game in the hotel, and the Fordham Rams, from a three-point defensive perspective, haven't really been able to do it in an efficient light, and it's coming down the stretch of this game here. The one part of their defense they really lack.
Yeah, it is, and it's the strength of this GW offense is that three ball, that getting their guys open looks, and even if they're not that open, their shooters are good enough where they can hit contested threes. So it's definitely something that's going to play a big part in how this game closes.
Fordham Rams had a decent first half. They were leading by a few points going in the locker room, but it was a stretch of about the first 10 minutes of the second half that completely changed this one for the Rams. The same segment they've struggled on all season long, Brendan. It'll be inbounded, a full court inbound for the Rams. They got to go the whole 94. Lesmond gets it in on the inbound, full court press for the Rams, and a foul on the Rams on Christian Henry in the backcourt.
GW still electing to foul with over a minute and a half left on the clock. This time, Christian Henry the one going to the line.
Yeah, it'll be Christian at the line for 2. Christian Henry, maybe the poster child, Brendan, for the struggles this Fordham team has had from the free throw line all season long. Christian Henry, as effective as you get offensively for this Fordham team, but his free throw shooting, something he struggled with last season that has continued into this season and is maybe the biggest aspect of his game he'd like to improve. First free throw, good for him at the line.
And it's very interesting, Chris, because he's a great mid-range shooter. It's the whole principle of the free throw that kind of gets to him.
Henry's second is good. Nothing but net on the 2 attempts for Christian Henry, and those big free throws get Fordham back out to a 13-point lead. Dinkins, left wing 3, no good for GW. It'll be a Christian Henry rebound, and he'll be fouled almost immediately. Actually, not a foul. He was trapped. He called the timeout out of the trap, so the Fordham Rams would go to the bench. 76-63 lead for the Fordham Rams, 1:20 to go. That's a lot of points, Brendan.
That is, and very aware play there by Christian Henry, knowing that Fordham still had timeouts left, knowing to take one when he gets trapped in the back. But yeah, Chris, a lot of points, and when we talked to Coach McPowell before the game, he mentioned how this George Washington team, they love to play fast. Fordham team, they love to slow the game down. But looking at these point totals, it kind of seems that maybe this game has aired a little more on the faster side. Fordham has given up about 65 points per game. GW is sitting around there as opposed to their 85 a game usually, but Fordham isn't usually scoring 76 points. It's usually a little lower than that.
Usually a little lower than that. The nation's average a little lower than that as well. A 63-point GW effort, also a testament to how good the Fordham defense has been this afternoon.
It really has, and they really have found a way to not just hold George Washington to a respectable point total, but slow the game down, play their own way, and take control.
Christian Henry inbounds into Day Reeves. Day Reeves picked up on a trap. He's going to have to pass out of it. He does to Rika Schulte. And a timeout called slightly prematurely by Coach Magpie. Not going to hurt anybody, so you might as well.
And Coach Magpie a little upset at himself after that one. Seemed as if as soon as he had called the timeout, Day was able to break out of the trap and get the ball up the court.
But as we said, no harm, no foul. The Fordham Rams firmly in the driver position here in the nation's capital. They lead 76-63, 1:14 to go in this second half. They lead GW. We'll be right back. You're listening to Fordham Men's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, I'm Mary Hawthorne, one of your hosts on WFUV's tennis podcast, Cross the Line. From breakdowns of majors to courtside U.S. Open coverage, we've got you covered on all things tennis from the ATP and WTA. Tune in to weekly episodes of Cross the Line on YouTube and featured segments on One-on-One. Cross the Line, WFUV's home court for tennis.
.14 to go here at the nation's capital. 76-63. The Fordham Rams are maybe their most impressive performance so far this season. Chris Carrino joined by Brendan Shorey. It'll be Christian Henry inbounding it for the Ram offense. He'll inbound it on the scores table right directly to our left. Rika Schulte gets it on the inbound. He gets it across half court, and he's going to be the one to foul. Rika Schulte so far tonight with 6 points and 10 rebounds. Fordham Rams up 13, a minute left in this one.
Yeah, Chris, before that possession, obviously Fordham coming out of the timeout, Coach Magpie made sure to stress to every player out on the court, they have no timeouts left. You cannot go and try and take a timeout.
And Schulte at the line, still a 13-point lead. 76-63, 1:11 to go in this second half. First free throw, no good. Second free throw is good. A now 14-point lead for the Rams. A minute and change. And Christian Jones bringing it up for the Rams. Left wing three, no good for Johnson. It'll be out of bounds. Fordham ball. And we'll maybe see Coach Chris Caputo pull his horses off the reins here a little bit. No timeouts for the Rams as Coach Magpie implores his team. Not sure they'll need him with a 14-point lead and a minute left.
No, and it looks like some of the starters for GW have come out of the game. Dinkins being one of them, I saw just go to the bench.
And it's Day Reeves getting across half court. GW playing really hard to get that one loose, and they do. George Washington forcing a turnover on the offensive end for the Rams and scoring in transition on the other end. GW not giving up whatsoever. They trail by 12, 77-65, 49 seconds left in this second half. We'll take a little break along with the teams here at the Smith Center in the nation's capital on the campus of George Washington University. You're listening to Fordham Men's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey, this is Chris Carrino, Fordham and WFUV class of 1992. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
.6 seconds left on the second half clock. The Fordham Rams in the driver's position as they've been all half long, 77-65. It'll be the Fordham Rams needing to get it the full length of the court to inbound this one. The GW full court press continues. Christian Henry gets it into Day-Day Reeves, his backcourt partner. Day-Day Reeves trying to get it through a double team, eventually gets fouled, and he's going to be the one who's going to the line. 45.6 on the game clock after the foul.
And this GW full court press, very suffocating for the Rams back in their backcourt. This time, Day-Day gets a little lucky and gets fouled there after they had him trapped.
It'll be Day-Day Reeves going to the free throw line. 45.6, as I said, on the game clock. Still a 77-65 lead for the Rams. Day-Day Reeves with 17 points tonight, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Now 18 points tonight. That is stuffing the stat sheet, Brendan.
18, 5, and 6. Only one foul. Been great on both ends of the floor, too, Chris.
The Rams have kept it efficient going down the stretch of this one. And from defensive effort and offensive efficiency, the Rams seem like they'll get their W. Reeves good on the second as well. Lead now out to 14. 45 seconds left. Seems like this one is just about wrapped up. Inside to Johnson. Johnson at the free throw line, spinning left, up and under, left-handed shot, no good. And Christian Henry will simply dribble this one out. 4 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And the Rams will dribble it away. What an away win for the Fordham Rams. Rams got to play defense one more time. And we'll see. The Fordham Rams deciding which player it's turn to take the turnover. Christian Henry saying it's his turn to take the turnover. He'll take the end of shot clock turnover, not to disrespect the opponent. And the Fordham Rams, with 4 seconds on the clock, will take their victory.
And all the Rams clapping, high-fiving each other already out on the court.
And that's it. A final buzzer here at the nation's capital. The Fordham Rams with as big of a feel-good win as you could have all season long, and they match their entire conference win total from last season with 9 games left. They win today, 79-65. Their third conference win, second on the road. What a win! What an afternoon for Coach Mike Magpio, Brendan, and his unit.
And Chris, 2 in a row now after Coach Magpio got his 100th career win on Wednesday against LaSalle, coming in against a great George Washington team on the road in D.C. and taking this one from them, making it 2 in a row, adding some momentum, adding some fuel to the fire as well.
I think we're going to have assistant coach Ryan Highland join us here for a post-game talk. Coach Ryan Highland, former head coach of John Jay College. He led the scout this afternoon. I believe we'll get him chatting with us after this one. He has to make his way around GW singing their fight song with the student section, and he'll grab a microphone here and come along with us. We're going to wait for the fight song to end in front of us. It is a depleted George Washington group singing their fight song with the student section behind us, and GW picking up now their fourth loss out of the last 5 games. Coach Ryan Highland joining us, former John Jay head coach, led the scout so far this afternoon. Coach, you led the scout, and from a defensive perspective, similar to the game Wednesday, it seemed like from an effort perspective, from a togetherness, united perspective, everything went well.
Yeah, I thought our guys' approach this week was really great. Our coaching staff did a really good job of getting them organized, and being able to defend at that level and rebound at that level is going to keep us in any game and put us over the edge today.
And Coach, first possession of the game took a minute, multiple offensive rebounds, and that seemed to be the story throughout the game. Just what you see on that offensive end in terms of crashing the board, getting second chance, third chance points.
Yeah, our goal is to rebound like that all the time. We knew coming into this game that GW was tough. Castro not being in kind of changed a little bit of their defensive rebounding capabilities. But hunger's an animal too. So we knew we were going to have to kind of bring it with force from the beginning. And Jack set the tone, Rika set the tone, Akira set the tone that way, and carried it all the way through. 16 offensive rebounds throughout the game.
And Coach, it's a certain second half stretch that has really got you guys in trouble throughout this season, where you kind of lose it down the stretch. Today it was the exact opposite. Your best segment of basketball in the second half, and ended with that crazy Louis Lesmond at the end of the shot clock 3. Can you talk about that segment and how important that particular part of the game is for your guys' success?
Yeah, I think our guys they're still growing. We're still coming together, even though we're more than halfway through the season. And the confidence comes along with that. So being able to withstand a team's runs, Coach talked about in the locker room before the game, there's going to be runs, and it's all about how we respond. And we got a mature group. We got a really good group of people, smart kids too. So for them to kind of buckle down and carry us through those stretches, Louis was great today off the bench, but really great minutes from everybody who touched the court. So just proud of their effort that way.
You mentioned Akira, and it seemed at the beginning of this game the threes weren't exactly falling, but then he kind of got you guys started with those, and then you saw other players start to join in. Just can you talk about Akira's performance today and how important he is to this team?
Yeah, Akira's just been really, really solid now for about a month, right? January's been a good month for him.
Very.
Shot the ball well today, but also made those kind of extra effort plays. I think in the beginning of the season, wasn't the most interested guy in being physical and making contact, and he's come a really long way to his credit of getting some big rebounds for us, chasing down some long offensive rebounds in that 15 to 20 foot range, and then just battling his butt off on the defensive end and hitting guys. Akira's a rock for us right now, really consistent.
Yeah, Akira Jacobs accounting for over 45% of your threes the last 5 games. He's done a great job. One last thing, Coach, you now match the conference win total from last season with still 9 games to go. Obviously, a change in regime this season. Coach Magpayo and the rest of your coaching staff coming in. Can you talk about how proud you are of this group, from players to coaching staff, and how this early segment of the conference play has gone?
Yeah, I think we're following Coach Magpayo's vision here, from a coaching staff to the team to the managers to everybody involved. And we don't look at it in any other way than we're trying to win every game. And it's a day-to-day thing, and we're fighting and we're working. Everybody in this program works their butt off every day. So we're excited to get win number 3 in conference. We're excited to get ready for VCU on Tuesday and try to do it again. The expectation is to win, and we're going to try to do that every single time we touch the court.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys. Great job.
Coach Ryan Hyland had the lead scout, led the scout today, and did a fantastic job. The Fordham Rams fully prepared for this one. We saw it on both ends, whether it was defensively, offensively. Brendan, we brought it up multiple times. The defensive effort for the Rams really was the seed that let the rest of this flower of a game grow for the Rams.
Yeah, Chris, it was excellence in every aspect, it seemed. We mentioned it with Coach Ryan, but the offensive rebounds and crashing the glass on that end, and being able to get to the rim and score, being able to draw fouls. And you look at the defensive end too, holding a very fast-paced George Washington team to 20 points under their season average is not an easy task by any means, but this Fordham team came out, they played defense and did just that. They forced turnovers, they slowed the George Washington team down. There's no other way to describe it other than outstanding.
Absolutely. It was outstanding, fantastic, all the positive adjectives you can use to describe the Fordham Rams this afternoon. The Fordham Rams, after struggling in the conference and getting that big win at Bonaventure a few games ago, it was a streak of around 4 to 5 games where the Rams really didn't play well in the conference, and now Brendan, the Fordham Rams got a conference win streak. The Fordham Rams have now won their last 2 in the A-10. I can't think of Magpayo's group, Brendan, having any more momentum this season than they do right now.
No, and what better than to go home for your next game against VCU, another good team in the A-10, but you have 2 in a row already. You have a little bit of momentum coming with you. You're going back home to play in your stadium in front of your fans. What more could you ask for right now?
Can't ask for much more. Christian Henry seemed to be okay at the end of that one to finish the game in good spirits as well. Fordham Rams in great spirits. They get the victory 79-65 over GW on the road here on this cold yet beautiful Saturday afternoon. The second road win for the Fordham Rams in the conference schedule, second to their Bonaventure win earlier this season. Now their third win in the conference. And a third win that was just so massive to the morale of Coach Magpayo and his group. That's it for us here at the nation's capital at the Smith Center. We've had a fantastic time. For me, Chris Carrino, my partner, Brendan Shorey, we would like to thank you for listening. The Fordham Rams get the 79-65 victory over the GW Revolutionaries. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for a one-on-one post-game report with who we've heard from. Of course, Lydia Perner and host Thomas Tisdale. Take it away, Thomas.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Welcome back to the Rose Hill Studio for the one-on-one post-game show as your Fordham Rams pick up their third conference win of the season. They win 79 to George Washington's 65. I'm Thomas Desjardins, joined alongside by Lydia Perner. And what a win for this Rams team. A really dominant second half and a really complete performance, I would say, from this Fordham team. We haven't really been able to say that a lot for this Fordham team. Lydia, what was one thing that really, really impressed you in the second half? I think there are multiple things to pick from, but just give me one or two.
Well, I think we kind of talked about it at halftime, right? What would be the keys to victory for Fordham? And we talked about just doing the gritty things well, and that was defense and getting rebounds. And I think we just heard that from Coach Highland, that getting those stats were the reason, Fordham was able to win the game. 16 offensive rebounds to George Washington's, I believe, 10 offensive rebounds. So that's a drastic difference in getting points, off rebounds and just kind of outworking the other team. But I think that we thought this would be more of a gritty win for Fordham if they were going to pull it out. I think at halftime, we both kind of said maybe a 2-point game that Fordham wins. Yeah. But no, they win this game by 14. They score 45 in the second half after 34 in the first half. But ultimately, they only give up 34 in the second half. They only give up 3 more points in the second half than they did in the first half. And I feel like in second halves, teams are always scoring more points because you're into the game. But to only give up 34 points to George Washington in the second half, that's just a team effort doing the hard things. But then we also talked about at halftime getting more contribution from the lineup up and down, and we definitely saw that. Obviously, Day Reeves, he still leads the charge with 19, but Christian Henry, we survived the injury scare there with him. He gets 15 points, and four of the starters are in double figures. So that's what we needed to see from Fordham for them to ultimately win this game. And I think, again, it's not even like they scrapped it out. It just shows that they can perform well in conference, and now they have a chance to go on a 3-game win streak coming this week. So I think that was just a really complete game from Fordham, like you said, Thomas.
Yeah, I think the defensive side of the ball for Fordham was really impressive tonight. George Washington came into this game averaging 85 points per game, and to only give up 65 to this George Washington team, Fordham's been a little susceptible at times to giving up points in batches, but they really did a good job limiting GW. GW likes to push in transition, but Fordham didn't have a ton of turnovers, only had 12, and I think that really set the tone for the rest of the game, and Fordham was able to stem and sort of hold back this GW team. But then I think going over to the second half coming from the first half, I think one area that we highlighted was that Fordham at some point was going to have to knock down the 3-point shots. Going into halftime, they were 1 for 15, which is pretty poor, even by Fordham standards, just not a great shooting performance. But then coming out of the second half, they go 5 for 8, and I think a lot of key threes at times that sort of just kept GW out of it. I think there were a couple runs where GW looked like they might be able to claw their way back into the game. But ultimately, they just weren't able to do so because of, a couple key shots made by some Fordham players. And let's talk about individual players on the Fordham side. Who was your MVP? Who was the player that impressed you the most in this really dominant win for Fordham?
Well, I think just seeing, Henry come back and finish that game. Yeah. At halftime, none of the players were really standing out to us other than the typical Reeves, but him coming, we thought when we heard that call, lying on the floor holding his ankle, all right, Achilles done, that's a bad, and he was at that point, which he finished the game there too as well, he was the second leading point scorer for Fordham, and it's a closer game at that point. It's not this 14-point lead that they win with, so you're kind of thinking this is where the game turns. But then, you're able to finish the game fine and keep that lead. And Thomas, to your point on the 3-pointers, you're going to finish the game 6 for 23. It's not going to look like great stats, but it was the timeliness of the made threes that we saw from Fordham. I mean, how many times did we hear Chris Carrino saying, from 30 feet out, the Fordham gets a 3, or Brendan was saying from the Washington Monument or whatever. They made those timely threes, and that matters more in a basketball game than, how many are made. If you can make the ones that carry you the momentum, then that's ultimately what's going to be more important. But I think also just we heard at one point, I think it was, and I know we were just talking about how to pronounce his name, Rico help me out here.
Schulte?
Rico Schulte. I think we probably didn't get it. Forgive us. But he made that 1-3 at that time, and Chris and Brendan were going crazy because it was just end of the shot clock, and to see that go down, that's what gives you more momentum than, chucking up a 3 with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. It's getting one, a gritty one like that goes in, and it kind of like in the first half for GW when they finished the half with a 3-pointer. It's stuff like that helps keep the momentum and carry teams into wins, and just be able to, despite your underlying numbers overall not be great, you do in the second half, go 5 for 8. So that's ultimately what matters, and why Fordham was able to win by such a good margin today.
Yeah, I think the ability to generate good, consistent quality looks, I think Fordham really relied on that in the second half. I mean, you look at the box score, Day Reeves obviously is the focal point of this offense, but then you have 3 other players in double-digit scoring, and I think that is a really positive sign for this Fordham team, because at times it just felt like Day Reeves was the entire offense, but especially tonight in this more complete performance on the offensive side, it felt like Fordham could get their scoring from a multitude of places. They could hit it from behind the arc. They could get points down low. They could get second chance points. It just felt like Fordham had a bunch of different ways of scoring, and if the threes weren't falling, they were able to rely on other things and keep their lead and maintain their lead. And
we also heard from Highland talking about Keir Jacobs and how great he's been since the turn of the year. He has 14 points tonight. That's another guy that ended in double digits. It's, again, if you can spread the scoring for Fordham, I don't see why they can't go on a little win streak here in the A-10. I mean, obviously, they're coming up, VCU, they're a good team, but they put up 79 points today. If you can consistently spread the offense and put up points, and there's no reason that Fordham can't be competitive and maybe win some of the scrappier games. This wasn't necessarily one of them. They had to be a nail biter, but if they can come out on the winning side on some of those games, I think they put themselves in a good position. Maybe not even they have 9 games remaining within the schedule, but also just thinking about next year or things like that. Just new coaching staff, new energy type of thing. So just see, do the little things right going down the stretch and see where that takes them.
Yeah, we mentioned it during halftime that Fordham came into it as 12-point underdogs. And I think in order for Fordham to build that confidence back up, you have to win the games that you're not necessarily supposed to win. Like, this was a game traveling down to George Washington, a pretty raucous arena down there. Fordham wasn't necessarily expecting to pick up the win, and especially wasn't expecting it to be in such dominating fashion. And I think that is going to do it for us here at the Rose Hill studio. The Fordham men's basketball, they travel back to the Rose Hill Gymnasium and host VCU this Tuesday at 7 p.m. as the Rams look to pick up their 3rd consecutive conference win. We'll have you covered on that on 90.7, as well as the WFUV Sports YouTube channel. Chris Carrino and Brendan Shorey were our commentary duo. Fantastic as always. Gabby Price, excellent with the boards as our producer. Max Perlman was our engineer, and alongside Lydia Perner, I've been Thomas Tisdale. Bobby Chaffardini is our sports director, and this has been a WFUV sports production of A-10 men's basketball.
There's one thing I wanna know. What's